my cheating make you feel? Did it make you feel bad? Yeah, I bet it did. Yeah. No, that sound. I know it made you feel bad. Yeah. No, that sounds about right. It made you feel bad, right? All while he's filming it to try and milk this devastating event that she's gone through for his own personal views and his own attempt at a comeback. That's how it seems. The catchphrase, I believe, for his podcast, which you can find on his About section, sometimes the only way out is through one podcast at a time. That is the slimiest shit. Oh my god.
As disappointed as we were that something so private and painful became such a public spectacle, I get why people were so outraged, and I understand that is the reason that she can't move forward with any sort of public thing without addressing this. So this is that. This is.
I'm gonna have to call dirty barnacles on that right there. I don't buy that reasoning at all. He is literally launching a podcast off the back of his ex-wife being the first guest in it. And he's trying to paint it like he's doing this so that way she can move on because all this went public and, you know, it's taken such a huge toll and she wouldn't be able to do public things because this will get brought up from the past, so this is how we're both going to heal and move forward. Like, I completely understand that for her in particular, her having any other, like, public-facing job or something, this would be brought up. I get that, and that is very difficult, no doubt. But this does not seem like Ned Fulmer just trying to do something to help her not have to deal with something like that.
I feel like this is a necessary thing.
Yeah, we've kind of been just keeping our lives very private for the last 3 years.
We have.
Just almost hiding from the world.
We have been hiding. We've been hiding from the world. And I'm not going to lie, it's been kind of great.
Now, I felt I needed to include this section in here because she is saying that she believes it was also somewhat necessary to publicly discuss this finally after so long, but that the time they spent away she's felt is kind of great. But since this was a public thing, it seems like she agrees that there needed to be some kind of like public resolution to it to move on. Now, I'm going to go against the grain a little bit here. I don't think it's necessary. You do not owe strangers online an explanation to how private matters were handled. Yes, this did happen in the public eye with the scandal, you know, blowing up and the cup runneth over on Ned's unfaithfulness, but that doesn't mean that you need to do anything further publicly just for the internet to bear witness to. But if you do feel like there is like some kind of obligation to have some kind of like public, you know, closure to it, is this really the best way to do it? Because to me, it really feels like Ned is using this as a self-serving thing. This is the kickoff to his podcast, and this is obviously something he knew would get a lot of views. To me, it feels more like a calculated business call as opposed to something to try and help both of them, like, heal and move forward.
Myself to strangers. It's like, oh, let's exchange Instagrams. I'm like, well,
right?
Here's mine, but couple of caveats. One, I have a lot more followers than you might expect. Two, all of this is pretty outdated. And three, don't Google me.
Don't Google me.
Don't Google me.
You
Just
probably don't want to
get
Google
to know me
me
first. Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
You don't want to be just sort of seen as the sum of your mistakes for me or the sum of your past for you.
I cut a lot of this section out here, but Ariel mentioned how like making friends has been a little weird because of all of this, because they'll come into it with some kind of like preconception based on what they've seen from the public and such, and Ned immediately is like, well, actually, me too. I'm going through something similar. I'll try and make a friend, introduce myself, and they like ask for my Instagram. I'm like, whoa, bump the brakes, buddy. Instagram, I don't know about that. Whatever you do, don't Google Ned Fulmer. Definitely don't do that. You know, you don't want to be viewed with some of your mistakes, or I guess in your case, Ariel, the some of the past. Am I right? Yeah, we're kind of like two peas in a pod when it comes to this problem we're both experiencing. And he's like trying to like meet her in the middle there, like relate to her. But Ariel did nothing wrong. Ariel is completely a victim in all of this, who is now sharing like how it has affected her, even like socially making friends, and Ned's like, oh, me too. I'm super victimized by it as well. Like, they Google Ned Fulmer,
Odio ese rol, boludo.
I don't want to be my friend. It's so weird, right? Like, you and I, we're going through like the same thing on this. Am I right? Like, it's This is what I'm talking about, where I feel like Ned's not actually trying to, like, help, you know, move forward here. It really feels like this is just his springboard for the podcast.
We are still friends. We have children together. We go on trips together.
Right.
Like, you know, there's a spectrum of being together, not together.
Right.
Like, there's ways in which we're together, but it's like the way that everyone wants to know, like, are you guys still like an item? Are you guys still a couple? Like, no. We really haven't been at all this last 3 years.
No, we haven't.
So I've been saying ex-wife this whole time, but now that I'm rewatching this section, that's not the case. Apparently they are still technically married, but they are separated. They are not, like, dating. They're not a couple anymore, but they're not divorced either. And I think that might have been covered later in the podcast, but like I said, I could not stomach this whole thing. It's actual misery. It is literally like this miasma of, like sadness. So I didn't finish the episode where that might have been addressed, but this whole time I've been saying ex-wife. That, I guess, is not the case. What is for sure, though, is that they are not together, and she has not forgiven Ned for what he's done.
People ask me, like, do you forgive Ned for what he did? And, I mean, the answer is no. Absolutely not. How can you forgive somebody for lying to you, for cheating on you? No. Fuck no. I don't even... Sorry, I saw red for a minute. It's like, no, the answer is no.
Yeah, that checks out. You should not forgive somebody that has done what Ned Fulmer has done to you. Absolutely not. And I'm really happy to see her just come down with the iron fist like, fuck no. Absolutely not. And Ned just sits there hitting one of these.
It's hard to hear you saying, like, fuck no, I don't forgive you. Like, of course I get it. I mean, you're still, as much progress as we've had, you're still very angry.
Yeah, of course I'm angry. You know, we're talking about, like...
This is where I started getting, like, a little wiggle worm-esque, where I was, like, kind of squirming in my seat a little bit, because now it's getting much more into the meat and potatoes of, like, the cheating itself, which Ned is spearheading the conversation of. She's like, yeah, it hurts to hear you don't forgive me, but, you know, I get it. We made a lot of progress, but you're still angry. And it's like, yeah, man, of course you're still going to be angry, but why are you using that as a piece of content for your podcast launch? And you can see how difficult this topic is for her. She then goes into detail about how everything unfolded for her, where she got this news from fans, and she was being sent pictures, and she starts going through, like, what that was like for her emotionally. And it's really, really sad. And then immediately following that, this is Ned's question.
How did having it become such a public scandal kind of change everything for you? Did it make it worse? Did it make it easier? Did it just sort of make it surreal?
It was so many different things.
His questions sucked shit through a crazy straw. These questions are fucking terrible, man. Brother, what? Did it go in public? You know, I was cheating on you for a long time, and then everyone found out. They were the ones that told you, by the way, not me. Did that make it, like, easier for you, you think? Just explain that to me a little bit, if you don't mind, about how public how public it was. What was that like, being in the middle of that, if you don't mind? And then his next question, I think, is his worst one.
What was that moment like when everything changed for you?
Awful, obviously.
What was that moment like, huh? Hey, excuse me, if you don't mind, can you walk me through exactly what it felt like when you found out that your husband, whom you have children with, has actually been cheating on you for a very long time? Can you please describe in detail what you felt when you learn that information about me? I'd love to know, if you don't mind. If that isn't the most brain-dead fucking question I've ever heard, Ned, it probably didn't feel good. What does asking this question even do to help either of you, like, heal from this? Please, walk me through the trauma when you learn that I, your husband, have been cheating on you for quite a long time. This is something, again, like I said, that should have been, like, with a therapist, not a microphone. Microphones do not do that job. And I'm assuming over the last 3 years, and based on the conversation, they have talked, in detail with each other and with others about this. Why bring it up for the sake of cameras to capture it for your podcast?
For the sake of
That's what I'm
camera to
saying.
capture
It
it
feels like
in
it
your
is all truly
podcast.
self-serving for
That's
Ned
the reason.
to try and regain some kind of audience online.
Esa es la razón.
I think there was a lot of sort of delusions and rationalizations that you, as the person doing that, sort of are telling yourself as to why it's not so bad, or why it's going to be okay, or why actually this talked about it in this way. And then it's like, I remember that moment, it all just kind of fell down where
This one I'm going to take a little pause break for, a little halftime show moment here, because he's about to get into the most painful part, and this is when I turned it off. And what I want to make a mention of here is, for some reason, Ned is the one at the helm here. He's in the driver's seat, and is basically, and this is something I saw August the Duck point out as well, he is mainly talking about moments, as opposed to talking about how much he himself fucked up. He is entirely to blame for this, yet he is the one that gets to steer the conversation and talk kind of broadly about it and focus on this moment. What did you feel in that moment? As opposed to letting her talk about it and letting her kind of dictate where the conversation goes and the questions and that kind of thing. It is so odd, and it does feel unfair that Ned is the one that is spearheading all of it. It doesn't make sense, given that he is the one, the cheater, that did all of this, and yet he gets to be the one in control of this conversation here that supposedly he's doing to try and help her, move forward in a public-facing environment.
totally could see how devastated and just completely traumatized you were, and it was just everything changed for me as well. This is...
You're sorry you got caught.
I've been hurting this person that I love.
No, yo hubiera seguido.
You didn't realize until then?
Well, but then there's other things you tell yourself to kind of sort of compartmentalize, or I guess.
Interesting.
Oh, wow. Like I said, it is a tough watch. And like I said, Ned really does feel like he talks about these excuses and how he's compartmentalizing and lying to himself, deluding himself, that kind of thing. It almost feels like he's giving himself these little weaselly ways in which that he even if he calls it a scandal, whereas she says directly your affair is another thing. He talks about it as a scandal, as opposed to how badly he himself fucked up making this decision consciously. And now he's talking about it was never realized, all the ways I was lying to myself, that I was actually hurting the person that I love. And she calls that out, saying you didn't realize that? You didn't realize at any point that maybe what you were doing would be really hurtful and really devastating? He's no, I just with the way you compartmentalize and it's brutal. It is absolutely brutal to sit through.
It's sort of it's like like a addictive cycle, kind of feeling really guilty and ashamed, and then telling yourself the ways in which it's, kind of just lying to yourself, and then, yeah.
That sigh said 1,000 things without even needing words. Ned, what the fuck? He's just bumbling. Like he is actually spitting mumbo jumbo. He's saying nothing. Literally nothing.
Of like, well, what did you do to make him look elsewhere? Were you not a good enough wife? Were you not, did you not make him happy enough?
No.
And there's so much shame there. And I'm so tired of holding that. I'm so tired of holding it.
Unfortunately, this is a very real thing that she's describing right here, where there are people that when they hear about a husband cheating on their wife, their first response is, well, what did the wife do to make the husband do that? Must have been her fault. What, this harlot? What, she must have done something wrong. Must have been some kind of harpy over there. No, surely it was the wife's fault that Ned Fulmer would go elsewhere to find a suitable woman worthy of his benevolent being. And she's talking about how much that has weighed on her. And she then directly asks him, how does it make you feel hearing this? That you did this to me. You have basically, put this hex on me in some people's eyes that will not go away.
How does it make you feel to hear that?
I don't think it's fair that as a society you're put in that position. It's certainly not true. And no, it's not something that I imagined as I was doing that. And I think none of it was. If you really let it sink in just how much you're hurting your partner and how devastating it is, how could you do that? And it's still very difficult now, even 3 years later, to see you in pain as you're talking about that. Because there's nothing I can do to change the past or to help.
This right here sums up the Ned attitude for this. This is a very manipulative answer, in my opinion. She is giving a very real account of something that she now has had put upon her because of Ned. Even outside of the devastation to the marriage, there are people that will look at her a certain way because of what he has done. And she is now saying, how do you feel about that? Is that something you've considered? And Ned, instead of even addressing yes, I did this to you, I recognize I did this to you, he instead says, I feel really bad that unfortunately society does this. Ned, you did this to her. Yes, it is sad that society will do that. But whether or not you want to acknowledge it doesn't change the reality that it does happen, and it is something she has to live with now as a result of your actions. He softly tiptoes around it, instead focusing more on the problem that society has with this perception that they'll put on people. I'm so sorry you're going through that, honey. What a shame. This is what I'm saying. He kind of cushions his cheating. For instance, he mainly refers to it as a scandal. Ariel's not afraid to say your affair and what you did, but when Ned's talking about it, it's oh, I was lying to myself, with this scandal, this scandalous stuff, that kind of thing. He really likes that nomenclature. It just feels like he is very much trying to soften it a bit. So I just don't buy from his side that this was supposed to try and help Ariel in some way. I don't get that feeling from him. And far be it for me to question how Ariel wants to move forward from all of this. If she does feel this is the best way of doing it, then I would then ask, why did Ned take over most of the conversation? Maybe it changes towards the end of the podcast, I'm not really sure. But for the 38-ish minutes or whatever that I watched before just tapping out, it was all Ned that would lead these talks and control it. He would just try and poke a, like, how did you feel when I cheated? So that way she would talk about how awful it was, and he'd just sit there nodding his head. But it was always him taking the discussion where he wanted it to go. And every step of the way, I really got the feeling that Ned was playing just how awful what he did was. This was an awful thing to sit through. Like, it truly was fucking brutal. And I just had to share a little of this with you. That's really about it. See ya. Speedrunning an intro here. I just learned about some of the most entertaining drama of 2024. I saw it through Evil Pineley's video covering the situation 2 weeks ago, and it is still going currently today. It's about the CEO of a parchment paper business losing his mind and having this whiny temper tantrum meltdown, all because he watched a TikTok video of a girl being cooked a meal by her father.
When I told my dad I was going to be getting him the same pants that Gordon Ramsay has, he was so excited. I'm talking about the hex-clad pants, and today...
It's a super innocent video of this girl's dad making a meal, and the CEO of parchmentpaper.com was angrier about this than he would be if he walked in on his wife having sex with another man. Though it is quite the stretch of imagination to envision this guy, this lunatic, with any kind of companionship in his life. So after watching this, he was infuriated, went on the actual company's business account, and left a mean comment, which started a series of events he couldn't have possibly foreseen.
I posted a video yesterday of my dad cooking for me with these hex-clad pants that we had gotten. There was a comment on there where the person goes, "Must be tough living a life on easy mode." I also didn't think the comment was rude at first, so I responded with, "Lucky to have parents who make it possible." And they responded, "Yeah, we get it. You have no skills and family money."
That's already such a weird comment right there. Must be nice living life on easy mode when it's just a girl getting cooked a meal by a caring father. Like, how bitter and miserable can your life possibly be to just see something like that and be like, I gotta give her a piece of my mind? That's a line that's usually used in reference to camming or OnlyFans or something. Must be nice living life on recruit difficulty because men are giving you a ton of money just to be hot or be naked or something. And this guy's taking that same energy and putting it into this situation where it's just a girl being cooked a meal by her father. Make it make sense. So he's so upset that he's doing this from the actual business account for parchmentpaper.com. So the Parchment Paper Patriot is really having a conniption. And then the poster responds saying, you know, it's supportive family, got lucky. She said she didn't even find it rude at first, which I don't know how you would see that as anything other than rude. But regardless, her response was super sweet, and he gets even more heated about that, fucking steam coming out of his ears, and goes, "Yeah, we get it. You have no skills and family money." What kind of projection is this? Holy insecurity. What do you mean you have no skills? All she did was show a video of her dad cooking her a good meal. It's ridiculous to assume that she has no skills. It's based on nothing. She could have bow hunting skills, nunchuck skills. She could be one of the most skillful human beings on the fucking planet. We have no idea. And then he's going, it's just your family's money. You're suckling off their bosom because your parents have money. What is happening here? Do you have no skills because you probably order Uber Eats all the time? Is your skill just ruining businesses? Like, I mean, that's a pretty cool skill, I guess. But anyway, this is only the beginning of his rampage, and he just fully self-destructs over the course of the next few hours. It's like Chaozu from Dragon Ball Z, when Chaozu latches onto Nappa and blows himself up, but the sacrifice was in vain because Nappa barely felt anything, really. That's what happens here. Parchment Paper Patriot blows up, and the girl, totally fine, and makes an absolute clown out of this guy. Dunks on him. She obliterates this man.
And at that point, I'm just like, okay, what the hell? Like, maybe this account is hacked, because from a business account, that seems kind of weird. So I send them an email, and I'm like, hey, like, I think somebody's on your business account, like, leaving cyberbullying comments. Didn't say anything else. That was it. And then I get an email from the CEO of...
I think anybody in their right mind would assume that that business account is hacked, because what little toddler would be shitting their pants, soiling their diaper over something as simple as watching a TikTok video of a girl being cooked a meal by her father? So I think that's very sound logic. Oh, this account must be hacked, I'll let the business know. So she reaches out, and the CEO himself, Brandon Howard, steps forward, saying, I don't consider stating factual information is cyberbullying, but if you're offended over a comment about having no skill set while getting to frolic through life with family money as bullying, I'd call the cyberbully police. Delete the comment and move along. Cheers. Brandon, I think the department we need on this case is the cringe police, because Jiminy Christmas, holy cannoli. Oh, he tried a facts don't care about your feelings moment there. What facts are we talking about? Her having no skill set? You have no idea who she is. You know nothing about her. All you watched was her get cooked a meal. I'm sure your parents cooked you meals at some point, right? Maybe they don't anymore because you're probably insufferable to be around, so they probably cut you off. I imagine that's the case, which is why you're so upset over this moment. I don't see at all how this would be indicative of her just frolicking through life, coasting off of her family's money. That's an unreal leap in logic based on nothing at all. And honestly, she was like a good Samaritan here, like looking out for your business, thinking that you might have been hacked because of how awful this behavior is and how terrible of a look it is for your business, and then you double down and make things significantly worse by being this big loser. Also, I love the chutzpah here from Big Baby Brandon to claim that she was offended over his comment, when this sensitive worm was offended first over her being made a meal. This guy needs to call the wambulance because he can't stop crying about this video of a father making a meal for his daughter.
Considering my parents literally grew up in mud huts, worked their ass off to get out of India, get us here, and get me to the position that I am and able to have a full-time job and a side career. Then he goes back to the page and goes, cyberbullying is even more funny, and the fact that you emailed us to tell us is actually hilarious. Enjoy frolicking through life and leave the rest up to us adults who create actual economic value without a trust.
Yeah, leave the heavy lifting up to the real adults, like Brandon Howard, CEO of ParchmentPaper.com. It's comical that the parchment paper guy is trying to act hard here. Like, I don't know what he expected to happen. He just looks so stupid. Claiming that she's like a trust fund kid based on nothing. Literally nothing. All just gobbledygook here. All you saw was a video of her getting made a meal by her father. How could you possibly connect all of these weird dots? To me, it seems like the person who's really frolicking through life on easy mode is you, who has unlimited time in the day to respond to random people on TikTok and leave comments that just let everyone know that you're an outrageous asshole. Like, you must not be doing that well business-wise, if that's what it's boiled down to here.
They did send me a legal notice. It came from info@parchmentpapers.com, and it says that they are really worried about the safety of their team, and if I don't remove the defamatory posts on TikTok, they will be taking legal action, which I don't believe it's defamatory
because it's not defamatory at all. All she did was share his comments, which are public, in that email, his statements, all from his mouth. This stupid douchebag is just doing one of those desperate Hail Mary maneuvers when they have nothing else left and trying their absolute best to save a sinking ship from the holes that they themselves have poked in it. And it doesn't work, and it actually leads to him looking like even more of a clown, because she points out some pretty interesting things about this cease and desist.
So yeah, like, I don't believe it's defamatory. I also don't believe you have a legal department because you signed it incorrectly. It says legal department at parchmentpapers.com. You forgot the dot.
Did you forget to delete the part where it says like your contact information because you're using a template? And also, what's with the cease and desist? I thought it was CEASE. Who's doing your spell check?
Good heavens, Brandon Howard did some ayahuasca and tried to send a cease and desist and lost himself somewhere in the sauce. So apparently it was signed incorrectly from legal department at parchmentpapers.com. And then here's some more information on it, I suppose, where he left in your contact information in brackets. So, as she points out, that means he's most likely using a template here. That is actually that shit on a teleprompter where it's like, wait for applause, and you say it out loud, and you're like, oh, I made a big boo-boo, because I wasn't supposed to read that. He fucking left that in. This absolute buffoon. And the goober doesn't even know what a cease and desist is. He did seize and desist. Holy shit. I think he's the only one that works at this company. Nobody else saw this before the email got sent out. His supposed legal department okayed this. If he does have a legal department, they need to be fired right now. They need to get fired yesterday, because that is a disgrace. That is not a legal document whatsoever. Fucking your contact information in brackets, cease and desist. You couldn't have made that any worse. This legal document he tried to send over is now more worthless than the parchment paper that he's built his life upon.
Another day, another email. This time you decided to fix the typos. Congratulations. And you also told me you're fixing the typos. Very interesting thing for your legal department to say.
Oh, brother, this guy stinks. She is cooking him harder than the meal that her father cooked her in the first place that started all of this. I love how he proudly calls attention to fixing the typos. Like a student in class, like, excuse me, teacher, I fixed the spelling mistakes in the cursive. Fix the typos just in case you couldn't figure out we're very serious about this issue, as your direct actions to intentionally harm to us. Oh my god, the grammar is diabolical as well. And our company is not being taken lightly. We expect action to be taken within 48 hours. See attached. There's probably a picture of Brandon Howard's butthole here going spread goatsy on her. So, this is clearly, again, written by someone that is lacking a 4th grade education. Brandon, I think your first hire at parchmentpaper.com, or pardon me, parchmentpaper.com, should be an English tutor for yourself here. This is bad. How you even attempt to run a business is beyond me. I guess they just let anyone into the parchment paper industry these days. But yeah, so Brandon again tries to strike back here, and again looks super dumb for it. But congrats on fixing the typos, idiot.
But your cease and desist at the bottom, I saw that it said rocketlawyer.com. So of course I had to call them and ask them, is this a real legal document? And they said no immediately, and they said this looks like a phishing scam and you should probably not respond.
Oh god, even rocketlawyer.com's shooting spitballs at Brandon now. Just saying that, no, it's definitely not real. It's probably a phishing scam. Don't respond to it. Oh, what do you use the parchment paper for, Brandon? Honestly, it's almost poetic that the guy who owns a paper business can't read or write very well. I think that's poetic almost.
Anyways, then you decided you're going to start using my work email, which is public, to sign me up for corn sites, for Scientology, but you forgot that those companies will actually send you the IP where the accounts were made from. And it's funny because it's pinging in California, and I'm not in California, so... But I do remember that on Trustpilot, when you had your address up, it was coming up in California. Suspicious, huh?
Brandon's out here collecting L's like they're the Infinity Stones. He is greedy for that shit. He can't stop losing. And I can't stop thinking about how he signed off that legal document about, like, having 48 hours to comply or whatever. Trying to give it, like, a deadline. Like, this is the ultimatum. You've got to do it within 40 hours or else it's gonna get serious if you couldn't tell. That's just so lame. Like, I feel like he must have just watched Mission Impossible at some point. This message will self-destruct upon finishing. That kind of thing, and he tried to channel that into this document here to give like a sense of urgency, but it falls so flat.
But you want attention so freaking bad because you will not stop talking about this. You are basically the only one who is still talking about this at this point. Since my initial email to you where I thought your company was hacked, I have not tried to contact you. At first, you were laughing and sipping Mai Tais on the beach, and then you were having crybaby sales because this was drawing you so much attention.
So this video is only 3 days old, which is weeks after Brandon's biblical meltdown, and he's still going on about it. So this is a screenshot from his crybaby special, which, oh my god, the irony almost makes me sick. This fucking guy lacks self-awareness to an almost delusional degree. He is the only one that has been crying. He started with the waterworks and the French cries because he watched the girl get cooked a meal by her father. He is the crybaby, and yet he's still trying to push it on everyone else like they're the problem. Our thousands of real customers will appreciate this. On sale, custom dimensions on demand. Boy, howdy, Brandon. Custom dimension parchment paper? I'm out the door. I gotta get on that right now. All these real customers are probably just so excited by this. Nothing makes me believe in a company quite like them referring to their customers as the real customers. I'm sure there's probably dozens of them. Dozens.
Your fake legal letters were not working. You thought it would be a smart idea to reach out to my boss at the agency that I work for and ask him to remediate the situation for you. You thought you could tell my boss to tell me to delete my videos. Just because you involved your business by commenting from your business profile does not mean that you get to include my place of work.
Pathetic, slimy tactics from an absolute greaseball here. So he apparently contacts her boss to try and whine to him to fix it, which obviously didn't do anything. Brandon, this is so sad. This is so embarrassing.
When all of this failed, you thought it would be a great idea to send me one more email stating that you will deal with it as you see fit, whatever the hell that means. And then you decided to add this banner to your website. I'm sure you think that
This is when it gets so spicy. We do not support woke, feminist, cancel culture, hate mob groups who do nothing positive in our community. On his official parchmentpaper.com website, this guy has lost his marbles. He's off his gourd right now. He's going sicko mode. Brother, what are you even talking about? All she did was showcase your comments and made fun of you. What is the woke feminist cancel culture movement here? You made yourself look stupid and people clowned on you for it, rightfully so. You are the problem. And also, didn't you just try one of those cancel culture maneuvers by contacting her boss and her place of work to get her in trouble because of you and your beef with her? How can you lack self-awareness to this degree? It's almost criminal, I would say. It gives me the heebie-jeebies. So he's got this now proudly posted on his website at that point, and I also love how he says that she does nothing positive for the community. When you came out of nowhere, the negative Nancy, just saying that she lives life on easy mode and has no skills and relies on her family's money, all just because she had a video of her father cooking for her. What are you talking about? What positive shit do you bring to the world, Brandon? Now, I will say, that section right there is just so outlandish with the woke feminist cancel culture mob being on the paper's website. It's so over the top that I half believe that might actually be faked by somebody, and I also struggle to believe that Brandon would be competent enough to even put that on his website in the first place. I just don't think he has the capability to do that. And I really don't think he has a team around him. I think it's just him. So I think that one might not be real. But to argue against that point, his statements on the official Black Label Paper Instagrams echo that same sentiment about like the woke cancel culture mob and all of that shit. So there is a chance that it's real. There is a very good chance that it's real, but I do want to put it out there that I haven't been able to 100% confirm beyond a shadow of a doubt that it is, because as of right now, it's not on the website. But he could have just deleted it after backlash.
But you continue to talk about it, you continue to make stories about it, and you continually want the attention. As if all of this was not enough, you decided that you were going to start making all of your stories on your Black Label Paper account involving your other company now for no apparent reason. Take down another company, why don't you?
So this is his other business that he's now calling in off the bench for this drama. I cannot imagine why he thought that'd be a good idea, but it's Black Label Paper. So all of his businesses are parchment and paper related, and I would wager a guess that the quality of his product is most likely atrocious, probably not even like worthy to be toilet paper if I had to guess. So he goes, all you fucking losers need to stop messaging us about a fake TikTok account made by then her and her dumb-ass minions because her fragile little ego couldn't handle a couple smart-ass comments on IG about skill set and money. I've never had the commie bullshit app TikTok in my entire life. A bold-faced lie. Also, why would you be posting this on your business account again? Like, your real customers that didn't know about any of this are now being made aware of it, and you look so weak and pathetic in all of it. And tell that little... Oh my god. Oh, what? Oh, I can't even read these. Holy shit. Fucking losers, I swear, it's been 2 weeks almost and still have to deal with this childish bullshit. You are the only one keeping it up, by the way. You are the only one that still is doing this and engaging with it. No one else is talking about it. This drama it's dried up. It's gone stale. But he keeps putting it on people's radar. He keeps serving this up on a plate to us. He's cooking it for us. And we're eating it. He's doing it. He's the chef. She is too immature to settle this privately, and I'm not going to let some woke hate mob ruin my reputation because they live in some mystical fairyland of make-believe and think because they have 20k followers they're doing something in life. Clown emojis. I also can't help but laugh at how much he keeps trying to throw out woke, cancel culture, all of that kind of shit. Just a bunch of buzzwords that don't even apply here, because all that happened was she showed these comments from a laughably embarrassing CEO that he publicly made and then shared his email where he doubled down on it. That's it. It's all his fault. There's nothing else beyond that. And he just can't accept it. He can't come to terms with reality because he lives in the mystical fairyland. Like, he's in the fucking Narnia. Nobody else. It's just him. Here's another one of his posts, this time on a really cute background. He talks about Business Insider and some articles reaching out for a comment some fragile ego wannabe influencer IG about their lack of skill set in frolicking through life, where she got so offended and cited the woke hate mob smear campaign against me to get me canceled. Fake accounts were made by her delusional woke followers. He just keeps sprinkling that in there as much as possible, just trying desperately. I cleared up the reality of the situation with all three media outlets. It didn't fit their narrative either, which was to further extend the adult children drama. God. So after 9 years in business, 3 business publications don't care about the good I've done and the help I give to people on a daily fucking basis. Yeah, I'm sure your parchment is invaluable. I'm sure you're doing a great service. You really seem like a stand-up gentleman. Their entire goal is just to hate people who try and do good. You really seem like you're striving to do good, Brandon. You really fucking do, brother. Yeah. What a saint. Oh, they demand respect yet do absolutely nothing to earn it, and hate every person who doesn't bend over for their spineless agenda. If you're gonna try and shit on me, my brand, business, and companies, you losers need a job, hobby, life outside of TikTok. Fucking losers in their 20s with an 11-year-old intelligence, but yeah, I'm the asshole. Yeah, you are the asshole, Brandon. Also, you're the one with the 11-year-old intelligence. You can't even read and write properly. You tried to make a legal department, like to cosplay as a legal department, and couldn't even get the emails correctly. Typos out the wazoo, and even in the ones where you fix the typos and even proudly proclaim that you fix the typos, you still make a typo. You suck. Like, you were the one with the child brain.
Sure what your end game here is, and I'm not even sure that you know what your end game here is, but in your own words, I don't have time to bicker back and forth about some nonsense comments, nor is it my problem that you're offended over them.
Yeah, that about sums that up. I think she did a great job of just closing the book on it with that final statement there. Fucking fire. I think this whole drama has been so wacky, like entertainingly silly, all over nothing. It started over nothing. Just a really insecure, sensitive guy who lost his mind and couldn't help but do as much damage to him and his business's reputation. And very impressive stuff. I had to talk about this when I learned about it. Huge thanks to Pinely for showing me this, because this is gold. This is some of that, like, top tier drama. You know what I mean? So I had to talk about it. That's about it. See ya. For a couple days now, there's been a video YouTube's been shoving down my throat, recommended out the wazoo, and tonight finally caved and decided to give it a peek. It's called Pulling Over the Police Doesn't End Well from Midwest Safety. And as advertised in the title, this citizen's arrest attempt does not go swimmingly. Far from it.
An officer pulls to the curb for a civilian following behind, honking their horn and flashing their lights constantly. After the civilian passes, the officer initiates a traffic stop.
The reason I stopped you is because you were honking at me and following at an unsafe distance?
No, I wasn't.
Okay. Okay, do you have your driver's license on you?
I sure don't.
The chess master has made his move. There was no pressure, yet the quarterback still fumbled here. This gentle Sir Redditor tipped his fedora to the officer, and he's got him right where he wants her. So he was following her, honking, making a ruckus, flashing his lights, in what seems to be an attempt to get the officer to pull over so he could give her a stern talking to. And the way she describes it, and I guess even the way he describes it, makes it sound like that old meme, you know, the hit it, Joe, and then the guy's on like the fucking doohickey, just like a piano with a ton of noise-making gadgets and gizmos going boom, 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 penny whistle, like it seems like that's what this guy was doing, following the officer around. So she like pulled over to let him pass, and then eventually just pulled him over to figure out what the fuck is going on.
You better call your chief right now, you fucking.
That's not very nice.
Well, I have the right to fucking pull you over. You were on the phone and you were doing something wrong.
So you were trying to pull me over?
Did you not see the lights flashing?
Okay. Sounds good.
Get your chief down here now.
He's not coming.
Yeah, he is.
And you're not free yet.
I'm asking for your supervisor.
Supervisor can come down, but not my chief.
Your supervisor's gonna come here.
Okay.
Because you have no business pulling me over.
Okay. But you were trying to pull me over.
I didn't do nothing wrong. I was behind you.
He's got some nerve questioning this man's authority. It's pretty clear he's in charge. So he is now doing the classic I need to speak to your manager move here, the old go-to Karen play. A John Madden classic. It's timeless. He did fumble the nomenclature. He was asking for the chief, which I guess the chief doesn't have an obligation to show up to every traffic stop when requested. Like Bloody Mary, if you say his name 3 times, the chief of police will show up. So he did eventually realize that it's the supervisor that he can request, which she obliges and gets the supervisor on the horn to join them at this hootenanny.
Can you determine from your mirrors what's safe? Because this says right here that may appear to be closer than
10-4, do we have any recent contacts with it?
Scream for help. Get out of the car and scream for help.
The driver is talking to his own child, who's also in the vehicle.
Start screaming for help.
He's now got his child stepping out of the car to scream for help.
Help!
Bud, you don't have to do that.
Okay, he's going to do it because you're
Help! 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 Help!
He's actually requesting a supervisor now, if one is available.
What an incredible father. He's really raising his son right. Barking orders, demanding that he get out of the car and fucking scream for help. I don't even understand what that plan is. Like, what was the thought process there? That the kid would get out and scream for help, and then the police would show up. But the police are already there. Like, I don't really know who he was expecting to show up. Fucking Batman or something. Like, I don't really get it. This is just insanity. Like, this is just actual lunacy. And he's setting the worst possible example for his son. I'm going to spoil the big reveal here because I think it's pertinent to what's going on. This guy's no angel. I know it's going to be hard to believe. Imagine my shock when I found out that he actually has an extensive criminal history with a litany of charges, like an absolute laundry list of charges, and he should not, under any circumstances, even have visitation rights to his child. This guy is a fucking menace. And he's using his kid here as some kind of, like, accomplice to his nefarious scheme. It's so fucked up. It's so weird.
because you were doing something illegal. I wasn't. I was behind you.
Okay.
Honking my horn at you is not illegal. I'm allowed to honk my horn all I want.
What a circus he has created here. Entirely avoidable, by the way. This guy went out of his way in order to find shit to get himself into. He literally tried to find ways to steam his own ham by following the officer around apparently super closely, blasting his horn and flashing his lights and shit like it was some kind of like kaiju attack, and he was trying to warn everyone about the impending danger.
Is it gonna be funny when I tell the judge that I was following behind you honking the horn because you were doing something wrong? And I just had a conversation with the day officer yesterday that says that I have the right to do something.
Oh, I know who you are.
Yeah, you dumb.
Okay. Perfect.
I cut out a lot here because it's mainly just him headbutting the horn non-stop. It's such an annoying pest. And now he kind of lets it slip. The cat's out of the bag that he's already had talks with officers, even as recent as yesterday. And then it dawns on her who this guy is. Other officers arrive at the scene. They also know who this guy is because he is a frequent nuisance.
This fat yesterday was on the phone with me yesterday, and that's why she's here now.
Hey, Joe.
What's
up, man? I'm the supervisor. You want to talk to somebody?
Yes. Can I get out for a second?
Just stay put. I can talk to you right here.
Okay. I was coming off of Ellis Street. This dumb came off of fucking Main Street. Had no blinker on when she made the turn. She was as well on her phone. I followed her down the road because I talked to somebody yesterday that made it very clear that if I had a problem with one of the officers that I can most definitely make a complaint about it. Okay. So I was following her down the road to figure out who she was, and I was flashing my light and honking my horn.
Were you behind her or in front of her?
I was behind her.
Okay.
What a story, Joe. A riveting tale indeed. So he wanted to follow her, find out who she was so he could make a complaint, about her not using a turn signal and apparently being on her phone. That was the plan. And things went tits up real quick. So he's now talking about like a ticket that she's trying to give him for all of the hoopla that's being caused here, which has only set Joe off even further. He is now fully deranged and has gone feral because of that, and no matter what the supervisor says, it's already too far gone. He is a powder keg that is in the process of blowing, and he can't stop blowing.
And now she thinks she has the right to give me a ticket for honking my horn? I got every right to honk my f***ing horn.
How close were you to her?
I was a car lengths behind her.
Okay.
She swerved and hit the f***ing curb like a dumb bitch with her car over here.
Yeah, so he could go around me.
And I was nowhere close to being by her. Did I drive any closer to anybody else than I do any other day in the world?
So,
once again, this guy uses his kid as some kind of criminal sidekick, like a lackey here, to try and help him out of this pickle that he himself has put himself in. So now he's having his kid vouch that he wasn't following any closer to the officer than he does for any car on the road, which is scary, because this guy is probably up every single car's ass if he perceives that there is something out there that they may have done that he didn't like. And also, this guy looks like he is just actually on some very heavy drugs. This guy looks like he is off his gourd right now. Look at these eyes. That is a soulless stare of the devil. This guy looks crazy.
for flashing your lights or what?
She said I was honking my horn at her because I was trying to get her to stop. I was not following too closely.
Okay.
Can you guys prove it? What is the law when it follows too closely? What does the mirror say when you read that? What does that say? If you guys are so smart. Objects in mirror appear closer than they are.
It has nothing to do with what it says on the mirror.
Yeah, it does. It is a lawful statement on there.
Why do you always have to be so confrontational when you deal with us?
I'm gonna be honest, I really like that line of thinking that Joe cooks up there. Read what the car mirror says. Objects in mirror may be closer than they appear. He can't quite read that. He's fuming too much. He's seeing red, so he's gone full illiterate. But he's trying his best. He knows that there's words on there that say something to that effect, but he can't quite get them out. But the idea that he's trying to get across is that he wasn't following too close. She has been deceived by the mirrors, which clearly state that they may seem closer than they appear. Thus, reality is distorted. You've fallen for his trap. Joe wins. That's the idea here. The mirrors prove he's right.
Because you guys, listen, this is about transparency. I have been being harassed by my neighbors time after time again, and you guys allow it to happen. This called me yesterday harassing me, and then now she's pulling me over because she's breaking the law. And you guys want to write me a ticket because you don't want to sit in front of a judge in front of
what?
your...
Talking on her cell phone?
Is it against the law to be using electronic devices while operating a vehicle? Is it against the law in the state of Wisconsin?
Not to talk on your cell phone like this. No, it is not.
Since when is it not to...
The officer then goes on to explain the law about being on your phone in the state of Wisconsin, which actually somehow gets through to Joe, at least temporarily. It breaches his defenses where he's like, oh, okay. But of course, that's not, you can't put the toothpaste back in the tube. He's already upset. So, even though that does dawn on him that maybe there wasn't a law being broken there and that this is a whole bunch of nothing, making a mountain out of a molehill, he's still mad, and thus he needs to take out his wrath.
We can take it to court, and we can make this a thing with Madison.
That's your right to take it to court, Joel. Just like you took that disorderly conduct ticket to court when we dealt with you down at the school.
This dumb bitch literally said in front of my kids
it ain't gonna do you any good argument.
I don't give a f***, dude. What are you gonna do? Not a f***ing thing. Because obviously you're letting this fat f*** do what the f*** she wants anyways.
She's just doing her job.
No, she's not.
If you don't agree with it, you can argue
How
in court.
is she doing her
We're
job?
not gonna argue
What
out
is the
here.
law when it comes...
Joe continues to try and alt. The officer sounds extremely tired of it. No one here besides Joe even seems mad. Like, this guy is spitting and shitting, throwing this temper tantrum, saying all of these nasty, mean things, and nobody even really cares. They just want to go back to their day. They're not even looking to, make a big deal out of this, it seems. Like, they just want to give him the ticket and just wash their hands of it. But Joe insists on taking it to the highest possible extreme.
Did I break the law?
Okay. So stay put. Don't make this any worse than it has to be, Joel.
What are you gonna do about it?
Stop.
I dare any one of you dumb to try to put your hands on me.
Just stop. We don't want to have to.
No, you started this. You're allowing your
I didn't
officer.
start anything.
No, I was behind your fat officer.
If you be quiet and give us a minute, we'll be done here.
No, there's no minute, you dumb.
Well, whatever, Joel. Obviously, we're not going to come to any sort of agreement here.
I do love that line there from Joe as well. You started this. As Joe was literally the one that, like, peeled off in order to try and get this officer to pull over for this whole song and dance that he had brainstormed. It's a very interesting strategy. I can't say I quite understand fully the Joe gambit, but all power to him, I suppose.
Disorderly conduct, a ticket?
Was going to be a ticket, but now it's not.
Joel, you make this stuff worse, dude, by the way you
guys did this. This fat called me yesterday.
Just stop. Joel, knock it off.
She got me by the throat! She's got me by the throat! Stop. She's got me by the throat!
Come on.
She's got me by the throat!
Joel.
She's got me by the throat! She's got me by the throat!
Stop.
She's got me by the throat!
Okay.
Dude, you're on a camera.
She's got me by the throat!
Joe, nobody's got you by the throat.
She's got me by the throat!
Officers, please, can't you see he's being attacked by a ghost? There's a ghost and they're strangling him like Homer Simpson to Bart. Do something. Get the Spectral Patrol out there to take down this rabid ghost that's attacking his throat. Oh my goodness, this is horrifying stuff we're seeing here. So yeah, it's probably pretty clear to you now, but they decided tickets wouldn't cut it here. It wasn't really working, so they decided to slap him with a disorderly conduct charge and take him in. I'm not gonna bother showing any more of his tug of war with the police while they try and get him in the back of the cruiser. And to think that it all could have been avoided if that officer didn't just call him yesterday. What was that about, huh? Free my man Joe. He did nothing wrong. This was all, the officer's fault for driving, I guess. With Joe on the road. Driving while Joe on the road, that's a punishable offense. Joe owns those streets. You will drive the way Joe instructs you to. You are NPCs in Joe's world, and if you are a little out of line, you best be saying your prayers, because Lord help us, Joe's going to be trying to pull that ass over, I guess. I don't even understand what all of this was about. I have no idea what he's talking about with her calling him yesterday. I haven't the slightest fucking clue what that's about, but it seems like Joe is a daily problem in the area, so it seems like he basically has some kind of confrontation with police every day. So maybe she had responded to something yesterday that involved him. I really don't know. It's just so fucking outrageous. As the name of the video led me to believe, him pulling over the officer did not go well for him.
An officer remained with Joe's child until his grandmother arrived to pick him and the vehicle up. Joe was charged with resisting obstructing an officer, disorderly conduct, and battery to a law enforcement officer. While the suspect never sued over this matter as promised, court records indicate the suspect has been repeatedly sued in court for injunctions against abusive conduct, failing to pay rent, repeated issues of failing to pay child support, disputes over child paternity, failing to pay rent, and civil evictions. In both 2023 and 2024, the suspect was prohibited against engaging in conduct or contact with certain victims he had previously targeted. The suspect also has an extensive criminal history, listing dozens of suspected misdemeanor and felony charges.
Sure, it might seem like most of Joe's life is dedicated to just being a piece of shit, but I think this one that we just watched in the body cam is probably the one where he finally has his come to Jesus moment and realizes that he's got a problem and needs help. And this is probably the one that sets him on the right path, I bet. He probably learned his lesson this time around. I think I can't remember, I'm going off memory, but I think he got like 12 months probation and was required to write an apology to the officers at this scene, as well as attend anger management courses. Maybe that did the trick. Maybe that was finally the one that got Joe on the straight and narrow. I have no clue. Anyway, though, just wanted to yap about this a bit. That's it. See ya. I've recently been in my oversized, comfy shirt era here, and by oversized, I mean I cranked it all the way up to a large for these purchases. That's why you've been seeing a wide array of different colors of shorts. Well, shorts as well. I get very quirky with my short selection, but that's why I've been seeing like this wide variety of shirt colors outside of just the standard plain white tee. And there's a couple big reasons for it. One, as I get older, it feels real good just being real breathable here and having all this room for playtime with my appendages, you know what I mean? Without it feeling all tight and stuffy. And two, underneath these pump covers, I have been diligently sculpting a body of steel from this canvas of marble that is my upper body and lower body. And so, like a prized luxury car, I'm keeping the cover on here, so that way when I take it off, it'll be a big reveal, you know what I mean? Maybe. I don't know. It's hard for me to, like, get big. I get stronger, but getting bigger, I get, like, meatball mode. I don't, like, it's, you'll see. Over the last, like, 3 months, I've gained 10 or so pounds, and I'm getting closer to my strength goals. I'm getting there, but we still have quite a ways to go. But the only reason we've been yapping about this, by the way, is because since I've been getting so serious about this, I've been using YouTube as a resource for a lot of, like, wide variety of things. And as such, YouTube has felt the need to push, like, steroid-based content onto me now. Really wants me to start getting on a nice, like, trin regimen. So I'm getting fed all kinds of, like, lifters who are juiced to the gills, which whatever, as long as you're upfront and honest about the usage of it, I don't really give much of a fuck. You do what you want to do. But it is very crazy to me how normalized it's become in the fitness industry, where it's almost like a mandatory thing for a lot of people just breaking into that industry. It's pretty nuts. But anyway, today, instead of feeding me content that was like lifting and steroids, it was just showing me roid rage. And one of them came from Midwest Safety with this goober who is clearly on the tartar sauce, going ballistic after getting his 37th noise complaint.
On September 27th, 2023, in Joliet, Illinois, officers were dispatched to a gym for the 36th consecutive noise complaint. This time, they'd had enough.
Sounded like a fucking Offspring concert in there. That is some loud music blasting in there. And if you look at the time on the recording, it's pretty early in the morning. The early bird is not getting the worm. He's getting a fucking injection into the butt cheek there. Holy. So it is very loud music. But, you know, noise complaints oftentimes are just kind of a nuisance, like a headache. They're not like a super serious thing. This being his 36th consecutive one over a really small period of time is interesting because brother just turned down the music. Why keep doing this song and dance? It's a fucking gym. Most people going there are going to be having their AirPods or whatever in anyway. They're going to listen to their own music, not the house music. I can count on one hand the amount of times I've seen people in a public gym just raw dogging it with no headphones or no, you know, ear devices to listen to their own music. There's just no need to be playing it that loud. The people there don't care, I doubt. Unless that's like part of the culture of the gym he owns there where you can't listen to your own music, you've got to listen to his Spotify playlist. Like, I just don't really see this being worth the tug of war here with the people that are complaining about the noise complaints. Just turn it down. It's just not that important.
I'm in the middle of a workout. Okay, we're getting noise complaints. You're okay with that? Whatever you gotta do, man. You gotta try ID with you? No. Negative ID. You're not welcome in here. Negative ID? Get the f*** out. You wanna do it like this? I wanna do it like this. Okay. I'm in the middle of a workout.
Whoa, 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 gentlemen, hold your horses. He's in the middle of a workout. Did you not know that? That means you gotta pack your bags and go home. You no longer have any authority in this domain here. He is in the middle of a workout. I love the way he says that, like it's Pirates of the Caribbean when parlay gets said. Like everything has to stop, like full halt right now. Also, I was reading an article from a lifter. I already forgot who it was, but it was like 4 or 5 days ago. They made a mention about like being barefoot in public gyms and how like easily it can transmit HPV. I didn't dive deeper into it or like look at the research behind it, but seeing him barefoot in this gym here and then walking outside barefoot, it just immediately made me remember that. And again, I don't know, you know, all of the data behind it, but looking at him with his fucking barefoot stompers out, his fucking tootsies, his little piggies running wild there, that does seem a little gross.
So I would just want to talk to him. pushed you out? Because, like, you nudged me out of the, I opened the door.
Get fucking sued for harassment. This is private fucking property. You do not sit here in front of my motherfucking gym and cause fucking disturbance. No, fuck you. Don't fuck with me. Don't fuck with me today. No, yeah, you are. Yes, you are. You guys are sitting here fucking staring at my shit. These guys don't pay $50 a month, too.
Brother, they're not sitting outside your gym for the sole purpose of just looking at the clientele. Them paying $50 a month has nothing to do with your own personal behavior, man. Again, this whole thing could have been avoided by just turning the music down one of 35 other times, 36 times. Like, it's super simple. And now, one of the officers showed up, he asked for ID, that was it. He immediately blew a gasket, having a conniption about it. So now they rolled out in force, and now it's escalated to a much bigger deal. It's all his behavior, because he can't control his fucking emotions. He's now in just full tantrum mode here. He is now having roid rage, and it's only going to get worse from here, when it didn't need to. It has nothing to do with how much your members are paying to be at that gym. You're the one that's making it worse for them.
I don't give a fuck. I think she's a fucking... That person is known for fucking having a mental disability. It is in court fucking documented. That's right. So you go it's coming. No, I already did. What the fuck are you gonna do to me? You ain't gonna do shit. What the fuck are you doing rolling 4 deep? Shut the fuck up.
All I was asking for your ID.
You ain't getting shit. You're about to get fucking sued for harassment. You're disrupting my motherfucking...
You are disrupting it. You are causing the scene.
Well, that wasn't a very tough statement. He's using the weapon of the enemy, the Karens that often throw around frivolous lawsuit threats. Come on, man. Though, I'm not gonna lie to you, sports fans, I'd be very curious to see how a harassment lawsuit would have shaken down in this instance here. But he's saying that the person who reported it is known for having a mental disability or something. I don't really know what he thought that would change. What did he expect the officers to do? Just be like, oh shit, we are so sorry, sir. We didn't know she had a mental disability. Sorry to have wasted your time. We're actually going to go arrest her for having that mental disability and, filing this false report here on the noise levels. Like, she is right. It is really loud. Like, is that an annoying thing? Yeah. And it's also a really simple thing to just turn down the music. Like, it's not like she made a false noise complaint. You can hear that this shit is deafening through the body cam. It is loud as fuck. Like, it's not like she was wrong or anything, so I don't know what he thought would change there. He blew this way out of proportion, because again, all he had to do was just, slightly turn it down. That's it.
If you give this officer your information...
You're not allowed in here. You're not the allowed in here. You're not allowed in here. Relax. You're ripping my fucking shoulder. Get off his back. You're ripping my fucking shoulder.
Yeah, so it escalates. It ends in a big old scuffle there with the gym owner. He's like a kaiju right now. He's holding all of them back. He's got one guy pressed against the glass. He does end up getting tased, and then one of the gym patrons here comes up and is giving them an earful, a stern talking to. Don't know who he is or his relation to the gym owner. Maybe he's the spotter for his nutsack when he's teabagging the members' wallets. I really don't know why he's so personally invested in this guy, because again, he was the one causing the scene. He immediately blew up the second one officer arrived, just asking him, hey, can we get your ID and, get this solved real quick?
Fuck tasers in.
Okay, hang on.
Look what you guys just did on fucking Wednesday morning at 5 o'clock.
While they're arresting the guy, pretty much all of the gym members come together to insult them. And that one guy, the initial responder there, even gets on the horn with someone to complain about the officers. I'm guessing he tried to get in contact with their manager or something. I don't really know. But yeah, they all come together to start insulting them.
I literally was just going to ask you for your ID, bro. That's it. We're going to have to do all this.
Oh, man, it's been fucking... I just had to go through court for all this shit again.
I get it, man, but, when I first got here, I was cool with you. I was just trying to talk to you, and right away you started screaming at me, okay?
He simmers down a lot in the back of the cop car there. He really takes a chill pill there. The high wore off, and he's coming down from the roid rage. Anyway, though, this just got fed to me by the YouTube algorithm, that enigma, and I just wanted to yap about it a bit. That's it. See ya. It's rare that I can't yap up a wacky intro, but learning about this menace has left me stunned. I just saw this video from EWU Body Cams about this guy that would hide cameras in like every bathroom on the planet, it seems like. I wouldn't be surprised if he's got hidden cameras in my own porcelain throne territory there. Like he's infiltrated my domain and is filming me.
I'm calling because we just received an anonymous tip that someone has a camera in our employee bathroom and is uploading videos online.
You still haven't raised my charges. Where's our charges? You're not supposed to be judgmental to anybody's crimes, by the way.
What the hell is even that? You're not supposed to be judgmental of crimes? I don't remember hearing that in the Miranda rights. I can't even really imagine that. Like, you show up to a murder scene, you catch the suspect, and you just happen to say, like, hey, buddy, look, I don't mean to be judgmental here, but you strike me as a bit of a jerk for this, you know, taking a lot of human lives here. I know, sue me, I don't mean to judge. I feel like as far as judgment goes, crimes are a pretty solid one for people to form an opinion on, rightfully so. If you are found guilty of secretly recording thousands of people using the restroom, you're a fucking freak, and people will judge you as such.
On July 19th, 2022, the police in Ann Arbor, Michigan responded to the Briarwood shopping mall after receiving this unusual call about video footage from a store bathroom being uploaded online. Horrifically, the resulting investigation into a tech-savvy peeping Tom would spread throughout the city of Ann Arbor. The final number of cameras and victims is enough to make your skin crawl.
It's not exaggerating either. It actually did, by the end of this investigation, have my fucking jaw on the floor with how many cameras and how many videos and how all over the place it was. There wasn't a bathroom in Michigan that was spared his peeping. Like, this guy is like the supervillain of shitters. There was nowhere safe, no porcelain throne left unsullied by his eyes. His near omniscient eyes. He dedicated his whole life, put his soul into his craft of spying on every bathroom in Michigan. He was literally like the architect from The Matrix.
This morning, it was my boss who took the phone call. I don't know what time it was this morning, from a restricted number. He was like, it's a restricted website, you're not going to find it, but I just wanted to let you know.
The responding officer headed to the bathroom to take a look for herself. Notably, the bathroom was usually reserved for employees.
Like sideways, yeah, on that shelf. But, I mean, I don't know how. I know that can be tiny.
Police would learn soon enough that the employees at Altered State were not the only ones to have their privacy violated. In an unanticipated shocker, the police would find over 200 hidden camera videos from no less than 7 different bathrooms throughout the city over the next month and a half.
So this was the first domino to fall here that led them down this crazy trail. They found so many cameras and videos from this guy. It was like actually hunting Riddler trophies in the Arkham series. It was crazy. He violated so many people's privacy, spied on so many people, and it turns out this is only the tip of the iceberg because he actually has a previous case very similar to this, and had in his possession 7,000 videos of unclothed or partially clothed individuals that he filmed without their consent. 7,000! That's more than like all of Markiplier's uploads since he started YouTube. That is an unbelievable amount. And that was in the course of 5 years from 2010 to 2015. We'll get to that here in a little bit, but this guy's entire life has been dedicated to violating people's privacy.
All were filmed without consent between January and July 2022. Horrifically, this included illegal images of children. The depravity didn't stop there. When searching the offender's laptop, the police found he had engaged with online adult websites, where images and personal information of unknowing victims were distributed. Police suspected the culprit intended to participate in such exchanges after they found additional images of the victims taken from social media downloaded to his laptop.
Just when you thought it couldn't get worse. So, it's pretty clear he was also sharing these with other fucking evil creeps out there, and was even distributing personal information of the people that he would identify through these hidden cameras. So, from the sound of things, he would broadcast this onto restricted websites, and additionally, He also had illegal images of children. This guy is legitimate evil.
Even though the anonymous caller believed the video he saw was a live stream, he could have been mistaken. The working theory was that the culprit could have put the camera up at the start of a shift and then taken it home to upload the footage.
So back to what started this whole trail of breadcrumbs that they followed was an anonymous caller tipped them off that at this altered state in this restroom, there was a live stream of people using that bathroom, of course being non-consensually filmed. And so officer went to the scene. They searched high and low for a camera, but they couldn't find it. But they did see that a lot had been like adjusted and moved around. So it's not that they completely disregarded this as just some kind of like phony baloney nonsense. It's one of those things where they started speculating, well, maybe it wasn't a live stream. Maybe they had taken the camera home and uploaded the footage to those sites, and the caller was just mistaken, thinking that it was live.
Something else the anonymous caller said prevented the current lack of evidence from stonewalling the investigation. The man fitting the caller's description was 36-year-old Eric Deshaun Morton. This was not his first run-in with police.
But everyone said he was going to the bathroom a lot last night, and they thought that he just was trying to not work.
It seemed likely that Eric was up to something far more nefarious than just slacking.
Yeah, jacking. This disgusting asshole has an entire history of doing shit like this. The anonymous caller was telling them about someone that could have been behind it, and the person they described fit this man's description. So they looked into him a bit. They were talking about how the previous night he was going to the bathroom a lot. I guess he drank way too much soda, so he just had the big-time pee-pee, a lot of urine in his bladder. But they speculated, like, this is probably when he was setting up the camera or tending to the camera.
Especially when the manager added that he made a habit of using the ladies' restroom rather than the men's room. When he was previously asked about this, Eric made the excuse that he used the ladies' room because it was stocked with gloves, which he said he liked to wear while he worked.
A bulletproof defense right there. It's watertight. Man rolled a 20 on the charisma check. That was impressive. So he had a habit of using the ladies' room, and his reason for it was, well, they have gloves there. I like gloves. Checkmate. Damn, his story checks out. This guy's good.
After learning that Eric's son was present, the officers decided to uncuff him. They escorted his son outside to play and brought out some snacks to keep the child occupied while the search progressed. A pen camera containing a micro SD card was connected via USB. When going through one of the bedrooms, they found a small black bag containing more hidden cameras, some of which were like the pen camera found in the living room. Computer forensics experts discovered his stash of more than 200 secretly recorded videos of people using the bathroom.
Unsurprisingly, the authorities didn't necessarily buy the excuse he used for the ladies' room being the really nice gloves that they have stocked in there, so they ended up getting a search warrant. They then arrived at his abode. He mentioned his son was there, so they brought his son outside to play while they searched the house. While searching, they found tons of hidden cameras. They even found a pin camera that was actively plugged into a computer. So you had all these like Mission Impossible doodads and gadgets, all of which used for surveillance, hidden surveillance. And they confiscated some packages and a lot of this for evidence. And then eventually the forensics experts found his stash, which was 200 videos of people using the bathroom. Which, you know, maybe there's a perfectly valid explanation. Maybe he was just checking to make sure they weren't doing back-to-front wiping, because, you know, that in and of itself is a sin. Maybe he was just looking out for people's well-being, ensuring proper wiping technique, you know. Maybe there's a perfectly justifiable excuse that he was secretly recording all of these people. Authorities got an arrest warrant. They went to his other job at a hotel and arrested him there, which surprisingly was not his first run-in with the authorities. In fact, in 2015, he was arrested for very similar things.
He'd previously been arrested back in 2015, coincidentally by some of the same officers. In May 2015, Eric was arrested after a woman caught him filming her through a peephole while she used a porta-potty. Further investigation revealed more of Eric's disturbing behavior.
He tried to film a stranger through a porta-potty peephole. I didn't even know porta-potties had peepholes. I'm assuming He custom built that himself, fucking threw a glory hole in there and used it to film people. Or maybe he like built his own like sound stage that looked like a porta potty so it could film people. I don't know. It's fucking crazy though. The lunacy knows no bounds. And he would actually proudly post about shit on Twitter too. So like they bring up tweets here. Like the first one they show about him cleaning out his phone, and then he has the gall to say "in Jesus' name."
In 2022, Eric was confronted by a coworker who found a camera disguised as a phone charger in the women's restroom. It was plugged in and facing the toilet. Eric insisted it was a regular phone charger and fled with the device. Unsurprisingly, he was fired from his job.
I'm assuming this footage they're showing comes from his Twitter, or maybe like he had a TikTok account where he's doing this loser shit like Naruto running while doing a 360. I have no idea. But it is unbelievable the links he would go to for this depravity. So he had a hidden camera phone charger, like this fucking crazy like spy gadget that he plugged into a wall outlet in the bathroom and had face the toilet. Like, you can't trust any household objects in Michigan while this guy was on the loose. I didn't realize technology reached the point where we could disguise phone chargers as hidden cameras. So good on the astute observer that happened to pick up on that and then confronted him about it, which of course he denied, and then he snatched it away and Naruto ran off into the distance. But like, it's just crazy. Like, there was nothing sacred in bathrooms across Michigan. You think that that's a skid mark in the toilet from a previous poop? Nope. Actually a hidden camera from Eric. You think your parents are actually your parents? Nope. Actually DARPA drones that Eric designed for the sole purpose of trying to convince you to go to the bathroom so they could spy on you for Eric's hard drive. It's unbelievable how many cameras he was setting up in bathrooms across the entire area.
The case escalated to a whole new level when the police found an appalling 7,000 videos of unclothed or partially clothed people in Eric's possession. Some had even been recorded in a private residence. They also found images taken up women's skirts, which suggested he had a camera device attached to his shoe. This particular unpleasant collection dated all the way back to 2010.
7,000 videos. And also, turns out he was a notorious upskirt pervert creep. He put a camera on his shoes so he could take those pictures. And I'm guessing by that tweet would even post it on Twitter. Like, he would publicly post the upskirts, it seems. Or at least some of them. What? Also, it turns out he was arrested in 2006, but that one had actually been scrubbed from the records. That shit was like the cloning planet from Star Wars. Like, it had just been removed from the archives because of a program to try and help young first-time offenders or something like that. Anyway, he posted his $100,000 bail. He did get picked up again later. Turns out him getting arrested didn't mean shit to him. In fact, through some of what they recovered, they were able to actually figure out the timing of a good chunk of it. And some of it he had recorded after being discharged the same day. So he just kind of viewed getting arrested as like a nuisance. It wasn't actually a deterrent or anything for him. It was just kind of like a bump in the road, like he hit a pothole. So now all of a sudden he would have less videos that day, but he still went right back to it the second he had the ability to. It's fucking nuts. And then, in the back of the police car, this is where that clip in the beginning comes from. He then tries like a bunch of like weird conversational tactics and gotchas to try and like, I don't know, strengthen his case of innocence while in the back. And that eventually leads him to stating that the officer is not supposed to be judgmental of crime. So now he starts to try and lecture the officer on morality.
You're not supposed to be judgmental to anybody's crimes, by the way. I need your badge number, by the way.
I didn't do anything. I don't know what you're talking about.
No, when I say I do worse, when you say I do worse stuff when I was getting in the car.
No, when you said
you're not supposed to do that.
Don't fight. And I said, you're right. It's worse.
Yeah, but you're not supposed to do that.
Why am I not?
Because you're not supposed to judge crimes. You're supposed to be.
What are you talking about?
All right, man.
Not exactly Phoenix Wright, but a very interesting tactic to try nonetheless. You judged my crime, I'm going to need your badge number, you're not allowed to do that. And the officer's like, what the fuck are you talking about? I didn't even do that.
In 2024, Eric was convicted of 13 felonies. Eric was sentenced to 8 to 20 years and will not be eligible for parole until 2030. The true number of Eric Morton's victims, along with the identity of the anonymous caller who started the investigation, will likely never be known.
They successfully identified 15 victims, and Eric was convicted on these 13 felonies, so he's facing 8 to 20 years. Ideally, he'll get the full 20 behind bars, but the thing is, even 2 decades in the slammer, I feel like the day he gets released, he's going right back to it. He's hopping right back in the saddle. He has been doing this for over a decade, and no matter how many times he's been taken into custody and arrested, or even been in jail for these crimes, he then gets right back to it. Like, this is, to him, his life's mission. This is why he was put on this earth. To compromise bathrooms. It's fucking sickening. Anyway, though, I wanted to just talk about this a little bit. This story just had me stunned. So yeah, that's really about it. See ya. I moved a few more things around in my room, but now I'm positioned directly under this light, and the shadows on my face make me seem like I'm sitting in an interrogation chamber from LA Noire. Looks like that scene from The Dark Knight when Batman keeps hitting the Joker's head on the table. I don't know what I'm going to do about that, but for now it's going to have to do. I'm just going to be looking a little odd here. Last year, I was talking about an ongoing situation with an obsessed Twitch viewer that ended up taking a 700-mile journey, like he was going down the Oregon Trail, fording rivers and battling dysentery, to arrive at a Twitch streamer's house he was obsessed with, her name is Just Foxy, to light her car on fire, and seemingly trying to light the entire house on fire, because this was a blazing inferno. It was a big fire. Now, at the time, there was a lot of information still unknown. All we had was some of the surveillance camera footage, which I'll briefly show you, but I just learned 10 days ago a YouTube channel called Midwest Safety posted the entire body cam of the situation, as well as that Twitch chatter's arrest.
On my car, on the hood, and some pot. And he lit something sticking out of it and walked away casually, like he didn't do anything. The next clip after that was the front end of my car engulfed in flames. The firefighters came very quickly, and I'm very thankful for that, because the fire spread to the fence and burnt the side of my house as well.
Now, at the time, we didn't know too much about the individual behind it, but now, a year later, I know more about this guy than I do some of my own cousins. So his name is Farhan Jami. He has been arrested, and we know his fate. Spoiler alert, it's a prison sentence. And we have the body cam footage where he is looking like a pathetic fucking goober. But before showing you the body cam footage, I'll go ahead and tell you what the motivation was, because I imagine a lot of you were able to piece it together, kind of sniff it out. He was one of Just Foxy's big donators. He had apparently donated a lot of money over a period of time, and then found out she had a boyfriend, and was so upset by that he flew out to her area, then drove to her house to set her car on fire as a way of getting revenge.
The suspect, wearing a loose-fitting pair of lighter-colored sweatpants, latex gloves, a darker-colored shirt, a hat, and a mask, sets a box-shaped object on the vehicle. He then sets another object on top of it with a fuse-like wire sticking out of it. The suspect lights it with a lighter and walks away, which leads to the entire front end of the vehicle being engulfed in flames.
Here's the director's cut of the arson, and you get a good look at him and the device that he made. Dude made a goddamn Fortnite gadget here for this fire. He made a certified whatchamahooza. It's like a fucking kids next door contraption for this fire. It's like a bucket and a fuse and a brick, and then he sets it on fire and it burns the whole car down and spreads a bit to the house.
This officer, as well as many others in the area, both on foot and patrolling in their vehicles, all begin to look for any suspicious people in the vicinity. 10 minutes later, officers find a vehicle parked on the side of the road, only about 2 minutes away from the crime scene.
What's going on?
Not exactly a criminal super genius here, not the mastermind you'd read about from like a comic book. So the guy commits this crime, and then he drives 2 minutes away from the scene of the crime and takes a bit of a snooze, or at least pretends to sleep. You don't expect a lot of intelligence from some deranged lunatic like this, but you would expect someone that just committed a serious felony to at least have the wherewithal to drive further away. But instead, he just stays at the scene of the crime, basically, and just tries to catch some Z's. Maybe he was just so satisfied with himself that he just needed to pass out for some wet dreams. Like, I don't know what the thought process could have possibly been, but that's him. He was parked just 2 minutes away from this place in the same neighborhood.
Hey, what's going on?
Not much. Just wanted to rest up a little bit. I have a long drive.
Why are you doing it out here?
No reason.
Hey, keep your hand up.
I'm just putting my seat up.
Well, keep your hands up. Where do you live?
I'm from New York.
You're from New York?
Yeah.
Why are you doing out? What are you doing out here?
Just came to visit a friend, really.
Where's the friend live?
Down in Cincinnati, but he's working, like, doing some construction over here.
This guy's a smooth talker. He's got the silver tongue here. He's weaving some very intricate lies. I'm here visiting a friend. That's really kind of the best he's got for that. So why are you sleeping in a random neighborhood if you're here to visit a friend? It's just so good that he happens to be a fucking giant turbo idiot. Because he gets caught immediately. Thank heavens. He didn't get away with this crime at all. And this whole scenario with him only gets even more ridiculous. He is so fucking stupid, it is shocking.
So why did you decide to just pull off in a neighborhood to sleep? I'm so confused.
Because I drove 40 miles here, and I literally came like an hour ago, and I was like shot, and so I just needed to knock out.
So you just...
Playing Among Us with this guy must have been just the freest dubs of all time. He cannot spin a coherent story even slightly, and everything he says. Dine and dash is the act of eating a meal at a restaurant and leaving without paying. When I hear dine and dash being mentioned, I immediately go to the great Charles Doza, where he was arrested and then gave us one of the finest monologues ever recorded. This is Democracy Manifest. What is the charge? Eating a meal? A succulent Chinese meal? Get your hands off my penis! When that video went viral so many years ago, there was a ton of different rumors and stories surrounding it. It had this air of mysticism almost. It ranged from hyping him up as some kind of Gotham supervillain to him being an infamous dine and dashing culprit that they were finally apprehending. And for some reason, that always stuck with me. So when I think of Dine and Dash, he is who I picture in my head now. Even though that wasn't the truth of that situation there, it's still, for some reason, what has been locked in my noodle. So today when I saw a body cam video of a douchebag being arrested for dine and dashing, I couldn't help but just think about Charles Doza and how much cooler he was than this loser we're about to watch.
On August 16, 2022, officers responded to a report of a man leaving a restaurant without paying his bill.
Why are you asking for my
Because you're being accused of a crime. I'm not saying that you're guilty, but I gotta get you identified.
Oh, okay, I'm sorry.
All right? Relax. Come over here.
So that's the gist of it. He's being accused of not paying his bill at a restaurant, so now he's got 1 star, and the cops are just casually coming up to him asking for his ID. This video is blown up over the last 12 hours, and every post about it says that this is a Wall Street Bets mod. I'm sure all of you have heard of that subreddit, Wall Street Bets. It's a very popular one, and I don't know if that's a true statement or not, but if this really is a mod on Wall Street Bets, that makes this situation even goofier, because this goober is the quintessential Reddit mod in real-life caricature, and good heavens, it couldn't be more fitting. It's exactly what you envision when you picture a mod interacting with other human beings in the real world.
I went over there to have happy hour. I had some food,
And I day trade, I do option trading. I got a business major and I got an accounting, so I do day trading.
He randomly decides to mention that he's a day trader, does options like, yeehaw, woo, that's fucking awesome, this guy's amazing. It has nothing to do with anything. That is totally irrelevant to everything. It wouldn't matter if you're Michael Jordan. It doesn't change anything. It doesn't matter. You didn't pay your bill. You can't do that.
Were you by yourself?
Yes, by myself.
All right. How much did you eat? What did you buy?
No, it was only $70, bro.
$70 worth? All right.
So.
God, his attitude is so insufferable. So he's laughing at, it was only $70, bro. I make that in a millisecond with my day trading and options because I am a Hustlers University graduate and I learned all about this kind of stuff, brother. Like, I was on Reddit the other day getting my financial advice as I usually do, and I'm making a killing right now. $70, that's nothing. This is a non-issue. He just doesn't understand, like, liquidity versus supply and demand. He doesn't understand the bell curve, the angle of azimuth.
I tried to pay with Apple Pay.
Okay.
And he said, like, I'm sorry, sir, we don't take Apple Pay. I was like, cool, I gave him my credit card. My credit card didn't go through. His face was really upset already. And I'm like, I tried to educate him. I'm like, listen, I don't have any liquidity with me because most of my capital is my investments. In banks, I don't have banks neither.
He sounds like me when I was back in high school thinking of excuses for why I didn't finish an assignment. Like just a bunch of nonsense mumbo jumbo. He goes through this long speech about why he can't pay for it because he doesn't believe in liquidity. You know, liquidity is a belief held by simpletons and he doesn't have anything in the bank. He'd be a damn fool to have anything in the bank, obviously. So he just can't pay for the food at all. He talks about how all of his money's in investments, which is turbo dope. I have no doubt in my mind this guy is investing epic swag style into the coolest Web3 projects. He's got tons of awesome coins. Like, I know he's crushing it. Big thanks to World of Warships for sponsoring this video. I've been working with the World of Warships team for quite some time to design some custom in-game content, so I'm a commander in the game now. I go by Chuck Ships to choose.
Did you have any means to pay that $70?
No. I want to sue them. I'm sorry.
But
No. I'm sorry. You're asking the wrong question, sir. I'm so sorry.
You consume food, right?
Huh?
You consume food?
Hell yeah.
It's just something was off with this guy. He pitched this crazy fit, went nuts in here, threatening people. I'm talking about, like, went nuts at the bar.
I love that he's playing the victim here like this. Oh, actually, I want to sue them for thinking I couldn't pay $70 measly dollars. 70 clams? Oh, that's nothing. Of course I can pay that. I have no ways of paying that because all of my money is in these investments, but I obviously have $70, and, you know, I want to sue them now. Like, the delusion on this guy is incredible. I have no doubt that he was probably trying to barter with them at some point, too. Like, oh, actually, do you accept bonds here? I'd like to pay in some of these bonds. As you see, I'm an investor, so I don't really believe in liquidity. Okay, maybe not bonds. Do you accept Safe Moon here? No Safe Moon? Oh my god, you guys are so behind on the times. This is archaic. No Web3 capabilities here? Okay, how about, can I pay you in Cum Rocket coin? Okay, I'm out of here. You won't accept Cum Rocket coin? I was even going to leave a 200% tip. That's your fault now. $70 is nothing. That's literally no money at all. I fart and $70 comes out of my ass. It's not that I can't pay, it's that I'm not going to pay because you're not accepting real currency like my shit coins here. And apparently he was throwing a tantrum too, threatening people. What an unhinged lunatic.
Do you have a way to pay that bill now?
Correct. No, I don't have it now.
You can? All right.
No, I can't pay it. But I want to report the business.
All right, but listen.
Because it was a statement. Can I say this?
Walking away from a tab is
No, he kicked me out.
Yeah, no, but because...
No.
All right. Hold on, Victor. No, you can't, Victor. You can't, because then you're going to go to jail.
No, I know. But
relax. Put your hand over here. Put yourself over here.
No, hands? No.
Put yourself over here.
Don't come with that, sir.
Weirdo NPC here is trying a very interesting technique of being as annoying as possible. I cut out a large chunk of it there because it was just him putting on this, like, drama club thespian troupe performance about being on camera and shit, just to be a nuisance. So I think what he's trying to do here is just be so bothersome to the officer that the officer loses interest. So he, like, de-aggroes the police officer by just being annoying, and the police officer just doesn't want to deal with the headache and leaves. I'm pretty sure that's what his strategy is, but luckily it doesn't work out.
You know, how late can we stay open? It might take him till 10 o'clock before he can pay his tab. He was on his computer. I mean, it was nuts. This guy is out there.
Oíste, si le falté el respeto, excúsame, because I go through this racist stuff all the time, stereotyping. But today I was like, you know what? I'm tired of it.
I think this guy is just a real con man, and I think he's going to go from place to place.
Call Officer Leo.
Yeah.
He then tries to claim that it was racism here that led to this situation. So he's really going for every possible approach he can to weasel his way out of this. The business owner here is saying how he thinks he's a con man who just goes business to business pulling this stunt. And I think he's probably right. It feels like this isn't his first rodeo with dine and dashing. It feels like this is probably something he does pretty often.
I got the money to pay, and I was trying to pay.
All right, can you pay now?
No, I'm not. I'm trying to pay, so I want to sit down, have a water while I get my payment.
This guy must have the orb of confusion in his pockets right now, because he is spitting some stupid shit. He is on that moron potion right now. It's so confusing listening to him. He's lost in his own sauce. He's like, oh, I just wanted to have a water. I was going to pay. I can pay. I was planning on paying. I wanted to pay. I was going to pay. The officer says, well, can you pay now? And he goes, no. It's like, what the fuck?
Can I do that?
All right, the signal 20, I need to know if they want to press charges.
Yeah, because, No, I want to press charges, not them, me. Officer.
Andrade, can you answer me that question?
Charges, not them. I want to press charges to the restaurant, not to me.
I'm sorry?
We good.
Buddy starts spamming emotes now, and he's like, I actually want to sue them, not the other way around. Trying the Uno reverse card here. And I'd love to know how that lawsuit would go. I'm suing this restaurant because they're mad at me for not paying my bill. I fully planned on paying my bill, I just refused to. I even offered to give them an IOU. He didn't accept it. That's their fault, and they're mad at me? What the fuck? I did nothing wrong.
I'm so sorry. Estoy bien nervioso, man, because...
All right, so if you have what do you have there that you can pay with, that you can pay the bill? What do you have here that you can pay the bill?
Right here, sir. My Robinhood account where I do day trading.
No, but you can't pay with that.
Yeah, so that's my only form of payment.
Okay,
That's not my problem. I'm trying to pay.
All right, hold on.
Thing. Yeah.
71 switching to...
He flashes his Robinhood account, which makes me believe he probably is a Wall Street Bets mod, because that's the starter pack. He's like, no, look, I could absolutely afford to pay. Look at my Robinhood account. And the officer's like, brother, you can't pay with that there. And he's like, I know, but look, it's right here. I can't pay, but look at this money here. This is where it all is. It's not my fault. What am I supposed to do about that?
Too.
I'm sorry, no, déjame callarme porque me siento tan mal because I'm questioning your This is so funny. You can't wait to see what's gonna happen. It's amazing.
His mannerisms, he's like going full Joker mode here. I'm the Joker, baby. This guy's just acting like he's some kind of weird, quirky goofball. He's like, you're not gonna want to miss what happens next. It's gonna be amazing what happens next. Gotham deserves a new class of day trader, and I'm gonna give it to him.
Póneselo, siéntate. Sit! 71 taser pointed.
I'm sitting down, guys. Look at this.
All right, put your hands behind your back.
Okay.
Pete, put your hands behind your back.
Telling that I'm trying to pay my costs, and now he's arresting me.
Get up.
Things have escalated here, and he continues to try and say that he's attempting to pay his tab. He's also lobbying to the civilians around him like, look at what's happening. I don't understand what's going on. I was just telling the officer I was trying to pay my tab. I even showed him my Robinhood account. I was going to pay my tab with my imaginary money that I don't have. What do you mean? I don't know what's gone wrong. This injustice. I can't believe it.
I'm Republican too, and he's Spanish. It's a system. It sucks, mama. Why are you searching me?
Stop. You're under arrest.
Why? He's telling me I'm under arrest, but he's not telling me why. Office.
You're under arrest for theft.
For theft. Mira, theft. I was stealing.
Thank you for your quickness and your kindness. Can I get you a bottle of water here?
Oh.
Stay hydrated.
Thanks so much. Appreciate that.
The juxtaposition between these two officers' experiences is comical. One of them's having the worst day of their life, having to interact with this insufferable loser, and then the other one's just hanging out with the restaurant owner who's being extremely sweet and then just gives him water, and he's like, oh, well, thank you so much for this. I appreciate it.
Yes, don't delete the video, please. Thank you, Officer Hernandez. Thank you, man. I appreciate your service. Just don't delete the video.
I cut out a lot there. Things get very messy. It reaches this weird climax where this guy just starts going a little ballistic and wiggling around. which eventually ends with him getting taken to the ground and charged with resisting on top of already this. And now they've got him in the back of the patrol car and he's asking them not to delete the video, which I think he really should have asked them to delete the video. I don't know why he thought he'd come out of this looking like the good guy here. Everything you could do wrong, he did wrong many, many times. I'm honestly convinced that he must have been the diversion to a bigger scheme, like something out of Ocean's 11, where this guy was supposed to just occupy all of the police's time by just being as loud and over the top as possible to direct their attention all on him while his associates do crime elsewhere. So that way it'd keep the heat off of them and focus entirely on him. Because that's what it feels like. Out of nowhere, he just starts like yelling and screaming and trying to like get everyone's attention from the public around him too. And it just makes this huge hoopla, this massive song and dance out of this situation. So it really feels like he was the diversion in a movie for a bigger crime plot. It was weird.
I can pay the tab right now if you want. Like, it's no problem. And I can tip them $100. No? And I know it was a miscommunication, and I know you're gonna have to apologize to me, you know? And the owner is gonna have to apologize to me too.
You can't pay the tab by just flashing your Robinhood account at someone. It doesn't just beam the money quantumly into their cash register. You can't pay it. That's the whole root of the issue here. You were provided a service under the expectation that you would pay for the service you were provided, and you can't. Also, you apparently freaking out and throwing a massive tantrum in the restaurant probably didn't help things at all. I imagine if you were a bit more respectful about it, like, oh man, Apple Pay's not going through, my credit card's not swiping, something must really be wrong. I can afford to pay this, but maybe we'll need to think of another way of doing it, this and that. Like, if you were more respectful about it, I imagine this may have played out a little bit differently. But anyway, I just wanted to talk about this a little bit. That's about it. See ya. There's one thing more valuable than money, and it's not gold. It's something that I feel if the world really did end and we ended up in some kind of post-apocalyptic Fallout world, instead of using bottle caps for currency, we would use Stanley Cups. Now you can probably tell just by looking at me, I don't own a Stanley Cup. I don't have that sparkle in my eye that hasn't fixed that hole in my soul like it has for so many others. And I don't really get it. Not gonna lie to you, it seems like just a pretty standard receptacle for liquid, but people go ballistic for Stanley Cups. And one woman not only stole $2,500 worth of Stanley Cups, she then went on a high-speed police chase in order to try and keep her treasure. That was the one piece, and the cops weren't letting her get away with it.
High-speed chases are always intense, but this one from Ohio had a twist. A woman led officers on a 115-mile-per-hour pursuit along I-75 after stealing thousands of dollars worth of merchandise, including everyone's favorite trend, the iconic Stanley Cups.
115 miles per hour, that's no joke. That is certified zooming. This lady was tearing up the roads like she was Dominic Toretto looking to steal DVD players and VCRs.
No, I'm not sure what the product she had in the bags, but I know that it was the 2 bog bags and then product was stuffed in there.
What is your first name?
Melissa.
I'm going to send you a link. Can you send me that video?
Absolutely. We just did this on Monday.
Melissa here mentions that she doesn't know exactly what was stolen, but knows that there was a lot of product in 2 bog bags. I once again showing how out of touch I am. I don't even know what the fuck a bog bag is. To me that sounds like something from Star Wars that you'd leave the cantina with. But Melissa went out and filmed this lady who had shoplifted from them and then gave that video to the police when they arrived. And she just looks exhausted. The police get there and ask if she can send the video and she goes, yep, we did this on Monday. Like, it's just part of the routine here. Like, the way she's acting about this is the same way I act when someone insta-locks Black Widow in my Marvel Rivals lobby. I just let out a huge sigh.
After receiving a statement from the manager, officers had a full description of the suspect. It was time to search for the thief. Moments later, officers spotted the vehicle, and a high-speed chase ensued as they attempted to apprehend the suspect.
We
We are eastbound on North Dixie Highway.
Because of the video Melissa filmed, they were able to get the whole kit and caboodle on the vehicle that the shoplifter was driving, and then they just so happened to have a random NPC encounter out on the road where they saw the vehicle. They flipped on the sirens, and the Stanley Cup super soldier cracked her knuckles and said, "It's playtime." So she goes pedal to the metal off rip, but the astute observers amongst you will have noticed she didn't forget the road rules. She didn't just wipe her ass with etiquette. She used her turn signal in order to start the pursuit. So she turns right and then steps on it.
If someone can communicate to this Perrysburg Township unit behind me to come take the one position, I'll give it up. Ran the red light at Fort Meigs Boulevard, westbound. We're at the traffic light at Levis Commons and Jefferson Street through.
Now, of course, I'm exaggerating a little bit by saying she stepped on it. She's pushing that car to its limits, but it's just chugging along at like a casual 50 to 60. It's not even really going that much over the speed limit. The big thing is she's running red lights. She's not pulling any kind of crazy maneuvers. She's not fucking spinning it 360 degrees and barrel rolling and ramping it off of a parked tow truck or anything. But she is doing her best to try and elude the officers here on this pursuit. All just to hold on to a couple goodie bags of Stanley Cups. Fucking beverage containers. Now, of course, they are worth a couple $1,000s, but even still, the charges she would be facing for that theft were significantly smaller than what she's going to be facing for this pursuit.
That intersection, we're coming up to the Virgin Diamond here at 75, 475 split. We're going to get back on 475 southbound. Out on 25. Pit, she just took a pit on her.
Now, it doesn't feel like this pursuit went on that long, and it doesn't ever seem like it reached 115 miles per hour unless it was briefly where it cuts away from the dash cam footage to the officer's body cam, which is possible. But then, like, 4 other cop cars spawn in and one of them pit maneuvers her. How did they even get there so quick? Were there just like 4 other officers lurking like sharks in the water waiting for a pursuit to pop off? They heard the call and they're like, poof, like just go hog wild towards it? Or maybe the perception of time is a little skewed here because maybe we don't see the entire chase, which I think is the more likely explanation, because there's just no way that many officers would have been able to reach this point that quickly, because it feels like the chase only went on for like a minute and a half at most.
Stealing from Dick's.
The chutzpah to ask the cops what I do. As if she's just totally innocent here. Like, let's just assume she didn't know that they were aware that she stole from Dick's Sporting Goods, right? You just went on a high-speed pursuit. What do you mean, what did I do? Pardon me, officer, I was under the impression this is a free country. You're telling me I can't engage in a little high-speed police pursuit? What happened to freedom, What happened to freedom? This country's gone to the birds.
Ball bag, $100 ball bag.
Come down here and play.
Thanks, guys. Get caught up to do it too. Thank you, guys.
The officer rolls up and they exchange fist bumps, congratulating him on a job well done with the pit maneuver. Hey, brother, that pit, Insano style, excellent work, gnarly. Pats him on the ass or something. They just look like they're having a great time. Like, it looks like they're just having a lot of fun. I half expected them to thank her for letting them go on this high-speed police chase.
You got a felony. You can go to prison now for stealing some clothes. That's stupid.
Guess what? Slap on the wrist.
All for a little stuff. Yeah, for a misdemeanor. Kind of dumb, but what do you need help with? I got a tow truck coming. I'm just gonna get our evidence here and go from there. We gotta set up here though. I thought you guys had it boxed in there, but.
Look at all that loot in the trunk there. Those Stanley Cups popping out like Uniques in Path of Exile here. Holy. Like one of the officers mentioned, it was a misdemeanor and then all this hoopla has turned it into a felony. I mean, it is a lot of money worth of Stanley Cups. The merchandise apparently came out to like $2,500. Like, that's a lot. But it's probably not worth throwing your whole life away on this police chase for.
I mean, I just want to call and make sure my baby back with my daughter. That's it.
If you would have stopped in Finley, and we would have wrote you a court date and you would have left. And then you could have called your dad, or your baby dad, and your
I didn't
daughter.
know how Finley works, so I wanted to get to Toledo.
Toledo, and now what's happening? You got a
to
felony.
Perrysburg, and then I'm like, fuck Perrysburg, so I was like, let me get to Toledo.
It's terrible excuses. All right, but no, you're not going to use your phone anytime soon, so sit tight.
So this kind of confirms what I was saying earlier, that this must have spanned many different areas over the course of a longer period of time than the video lets on, because now she's in a different county and it's really blown it way up. So she's saying that, oh, she wanted to get somewhere else because she doesn't know how it works over there and wanted to get over here, and the officer's like, that's fucking stupid. I don't know how she thought that excuse would work or what the thought process was, because as the officer mentioned, if she had just pulled over initially, it would have been like a simple, quick procedure. She would have just left, but instead she stretched it out over the course of many miles, and she's like, well, there's a reasonable explanation for that, officer. I didn't know how it worked over there, so I wanted to get over here. But what seems to be the problem? And the officer actually gets really upset by her. Like, he goes in. He starts mocking her and insulting her. He was just kind of, like, fed up with her shit.
Enjoy the
Well,
calmness.
I had a newborn baby. I just need. Can you call him?
Let me tell you something right now. I am being a dick. I don't give a shit. Okay, you know how many lives you're just putting danger out there? Myself, all these officers, all the citizens out there, and then you're worried about your little baby. You could have stayed home and taken care of him like a good mom.
I am.
That shit sounded like an Xbox Live lobby right there. He just starts going in. So, he's not wrong. She did put everyone on the road's life at risk with the way she was driving. We didn't get to see all of it, but she was running red lights and weaving between cars. And it apparently did reach over 115 miles per hour. That's not Weenie Hut Jr. That's not nothing. And she tries to use the excuse that she has like a newborn baby at home. Don't really see what that has to do with anything here. I have a newborn, and he refuses to drink out of any chalice that's not a Stanley Cup. What was I supposed to do, officer? I had to steal all $2,500 worth of Stanley Cups. I had no choice. And then I had to go on a long police pursuit to try and maintain it, or else my baby would have died without Stanley Cups. You don't get it. Dude wasn't having any of that. Puts on, like, his mocking voice and then calls her a bad mom, which she is. She is objectively a terrible mother.
Good work. Good work, officer. Good work. Fucking dumbasses. For a fucking purse. Y'all slow as fuck. Did all that shit for a purse, and they just fucked my car up. Nah, I really ain't gotta pay for my car.
But you fucked your whole life up for some Stanley Cups. I would argue that's far stupider. Now, you could make the argument that it wasn't worth the pursuit since they already had, like, her license plate or everything. And I've definitely seen that pop up when, like, looking at police chases in LA. Because sometimes the officers will just be like, alright, enough is enough, it's getting too dangerous, we'll just go ahead and arrest them later since we have all their info. I feel like that probably would have been an option here, considering they had the license plate and everything about the car, but I guess they didn't have any information about the owner, nor did they have the evidence that she stole, so perhaps they felt that they needed to engage in the pursuit, otherwise they wouldn't be able to arrest her later. Couldn't really tell you.
And he keeps touching my motherfucking wallet like you about to touch my money. Why is y'all in my money? Thief ass pigs. Your mama bitch and your ugly ass kids bitch.
How peculiar. She likes to steal, but doesn't like to be stolen from. Hypocrite. I just love that she calls them thieves. That was just like the icing on top of the cake. Thieves! It's disgraceful! Disgusting! How could you? Now, who knows? Maybe they did actually take money out of her wallet. That has happened before. I've definitely read about that. It's possible. I don't know. I don't have the body cam footage for that. But I can't help but giggle that she steals, goes on the high-speed police pursuit, gets arrested, and then gets mad that they're going through her things. Anyway, though, that's about it. See ya. A delusional psychopath tried swatting someone. What happens next will shock you. Dusting off the old Darman reference here for this one. So some miserable, horrible lady tried to swat someone. I'm sure I don't need to explain what swatting is. It's a horrible, bad thing that'll land you permanently on Santa Claus's naughty list. And this lady looks and sounds like she's one glass of wine away from passing out face first into her copy of 50 Shades of Grey, but in between bouts of consciousness, she decided to commit a huge crime of swatting. And boy howdy, the shoe went on the other foot real quick. They actually found her, and when they brought her into custody, she started launching sonic-based attacks at the officers. It's a wild ride that I can't wait to take you on, thanks to Code Blue Cam here providing all of the footage. We get a POV of what it's like to encounter a real-world banshee. But before we even see her, let's go ahead and get brought up to speed with the lore, the call, the emergency that she phoned in.
Hi, there's a man with a gun, shooting with a gun. Can you spell the street, ma'am? I can't understand you. Do you have me on speakerphone? He's shooting with a gun. I understand that, and I'm going to send help, but I need to understand the street name. Okay, and who is shooting with a gun? There's a man. He lives there. Okay, what is the man's name? I have no idea. Okay, how do you know this is going on? Oh my God, he's out there with a gun shooting rabbits. Okay, how do you know this is going on? Oh my God, because I can see him. He's shooting rabbits. He's shooting everywhere. Answer my questions. How do you know this is going on?
No doubt she's a classically trained actress. That is a very convincing performance. Those acting chops could bring a tear to the eyes of even Margot Robbie. And she is using it for evil, nefarious purposes. So she's talking about a man who's shooting. He's shooting rabbits. He's shooting everywhere. And refuses to give any, like, real info. And then, like, pauses after the operator's asking her how she even knows this is going on. She doesn't answer and then just hangs up.
Based on the nature of the call, all on-duty Brookfield police officers responded to the area immediately.
Bravo 521, I'm 23. There's nothing going on here. This is most likely a swatting call.
Dispatch later informed that the female caller had reached out again, stating she could see the man on her cameras and that he was still firing his weapon.
They sent out the whole kit and caboodle like they were about to bring down Cobra Commander. They got there, found nothing, but then the mysterious caller reaches out again, saying the same thing, that this maniac is out there firing his weapon. There's a maniac on the loose and we gotta get him. Only the officers were there. There was no gunshots. They even searched the area for casings, found nothing. They asked the homeowner nearby, nothing. So they were pretty confident it was a swatting call.
While clearing the scene, the female continued to call 911 repeatedly from an unknown number. A sergeant instructed the clerks to forward all her calls to his desk phone.
She called them again and again and again, repeatedly just spitting this fraudulent fairy tale, this gobbledygook horseradish. I don't know what she was even fucking thinking at this point. She's like the Riddler, but 50 times as stupid. She's the shittler. So she's over there just spewing this shit. They are at the scene, so they know it's not real, and they just start forwarding those calls to Ace Detective Phoenix Wright's personal desk phone, and he happens to recognize her voice from previous interactions. Let that sink in for a moment. Marinate on that thought. A police officer interacts with so many people, and most of those interactions, I imagine, aren't overly positive. Do you know how annoying you have to be to have an officer remember your voice? That you were such a fucking nuisance that your voice left an imprint in their brain that even just audibly hearing you can activate a Winter Soldier moment for them where they remember your name and everything. All because you stained them with how annoying you were.
When she called again, he recognized her voice from previous interactions. A quick in-house database check soon revealed her identity as 36-year-old Ashley Corbin.
Is that consistent with what you say you're observing? Yeah. Okay, we have gone to the area where you have claimed this has been happening 3 times tonight? Yeah. Yep, you've seen us there? Yeah.
So he got asshole Ashley on the horn here in order to corroborate these reports, saying that you've called 10 times now all about this, we've been out there and have seen nothing, and she's just like a broken record saying, yeah, yep, yes. Like, she is a malfunctioning NPC. All she can say is, yeah. And he's just pressing her like, hey, we didn't see anything. You know, what's going on? She eventually says that the guy shooting is on camera. So the officer says, well, we'd love to see that footage. Shocker, she's got no footage to show.
I would love to see the video footage if that's something that you could provide for us, because we have been unable to locate him. And I sent an officer to look at that with you.
No, we want him to be stopped.
What's going to happen moving forward, we're going to be conducting an investigation for swatting. Are you familiar with that term?
I hope so. I hope that you guys are going to take him, his property into custody and investigate his whole property. I pray to God.
Well, her body is screaming for water, but the only thing it's getting is more and more wine. She is plastered. You can clearly hear it. She is not able to process at all what's happening here. He's even telling her to her face that they are investigating her for swatting, and she's like, oh, thank heavens. Goodness gracious, it's about time you guys do your job. He's an absolute menace out there. He's shooting, and you need to go investigate his property. You need to take his property. I pray to God you go take his property. This and that. She doesn't realize what is happening here at all. Like, swatting is a very serious thing. Again, I'm sure you're all familiar with it, but people die from swatting. So it's something that's taken super seriously here, and she is not able to wrangle that fact at all.
Well, we're worried about our kids.
Yep, you've said that a couple times, ma'am. If you were so worried about your kids, I think you'd be willing to talk to an officer about it.
Are you kidding me? Do you really want to want to go there?
We're going to pull the phone records from the phone company. We'll write the subpoena. Have you had any drinks tonight, ma'am?
Are you crazy?
No, ma'am. I'm trying to conduct this investigation for you.
Are you a crazy person?
Nope.
He's been shooting rabbits and doing all kinds of stuff.
He started to sniff out that she might be intoxicated, but Ashley's putting on a strong show of sobriety to throw him off the trail. Drunk? Me? No. You crazy? You a crazy person? Is that what's going on here?
So, we're going to end this. He's going to pay us $1,500.
Oh, that's good for you.
Yeah, sure is.
Her neurons started to desperately fire as the realization must have started to sink in that they're not buying her story. So she starts to panic a little bit and tries to write a conclusion to the fanfic about how they just shook hands with $1,500 and everything's hunky-dory now. No need to send any pesky officers out there to check anything out because it's all squared away now, huh? Job well done.
Ashley Corbin, I remember her.
That's who I think it is. I think it's Ashley. Hello?
Holy.
Is this Ashley?
Yeah, no, this is not Ashley.
Okay. This is Sergeant Griebling with the Brookfield Police Department. You called us?
Who is Ashley?
I thought this was Ashley.
Why would you think that?
The tables turn. The officers are pretty sure it's Ashley, so they call her this time to try and confirm those suspicions. And I think it's pretty obvious from the second she answers the phone, they got her. But she's trying to play it cool. Ashley? No, this is not Ashley. What makes you think it's Ashley? My name is Bourne. I'm actually surprised she answered this call with her normal inebriated voice instead of trying to fool them, throw a monkey wrench into their hypothesis by answering the phone with an accent or something. Top of the morning to ya! You know, something like that, and they'd be like, oh, well, clearly it can't be Ashley. This caller wasn't Irish, so we got the wrong person.
Guess what? My name's Lindsay. You can stop calling me Ashley. Thank you.
Okay. You should probably slow down on the drinking tonight, ma'am.
You should probably fucking stop being a fucking bitch.
Okay.
The call starts to devolve into her treating this call like it's an Xbox Live lobby, so she just keeps calling him a bitch. It really gets very interesting. It's like a League of Legends chat at this point.
It was also revealed that Ashley had an active felony warrant and had repeatedly called another police agency earlier that day using vulgar and profane language.
Sorry.
Oh.
Whoa! Crazy! Come on, get Trey! Prince! Get Trey! Chris? No.
Come on! Let's go, bud!
Come on!
We get some more lore on Ashley, and the deeper it gets, the more confused I become at how someone can end up like Ashley. She was apparently calling another police agency that day as well to spew some mumbo-jumbo, and then they eventually find her outside with her dog, and then she's yanking on the dog's leash, which eventually pops the leash off of the dog, and then she has to go on the side quest to get the dog back to get it inside. It's quite a journey.
I want my attorney present. Okay, sure.
Thank you. So I'm not going to talk to anybody without my attorney present.
Very well. I will pass it on to Brookfield, and we'll see what they say.
After a lengthy mission, they do finally get the dog, and the way she's holding him, she's holding it like it's a bioweapon. I've never seen someone hold a dog like that in my fucking life. She's got the dog's wiener pointed at the officers. I think she was hoping that he'd start peeing or something as a distraction so she could make a run for it. I don't know. But she's like holding the dog almost like it's the fucking Heisman Trophy or something. Like, I don't get what she's doing, like, with that dog. I feel terrible for the dog. Honestly, the best thing that could have happened is the dog gets off the leash and finds a new owner. Because she seems remarkably fucking lost and beyond off her gourd.
So, no, I'm not doing a swatting thing with a Brookfield. Are you kidding me?
I wouldn't joke about that.
That is a serious joke. Ken is a psycho.
I don't even know who Ken is.
The guy.
We honestly don't know much of what's going on.
We were told here to come pick you up, that you have a warrant, and Brookfield wants to talk.
I date a Brookfield officer. Okay.
Who?
My man is an officer. Okay. I'm not gonna say because I don't want to.
You just said Singleton.
It's pretty clear that this woman is a pathological liar, and it only gets worse. She throws out some really heinous accusations in a bit. So right now, she's talking about how she wasn't behind the swatting. That's a very serious joke. That's not a knee slapper or a gut buster that you make gags out of. She would never do such a thing like that. And then she's talking about how she actually dates an officer. Won't name his name, but she dates an officer, and he probably wouldn't like what's happening here. He probably wouldn't like it. So her whole idea here, I think, was to try and, like, I don't know, say, like, hey, I date an officer, so I shouldn't be arrested, you know? I think that was the plan. It doesn't work, but I think that's what she was going for.
You need to go.
No, you're good. Well, we got.
Can you please come out?
Hey, be respectful.
No, you can take it.
I was trying to go to the basement. I didn't know I was going to.
It's actually incredible how unlikable this woman is. A just normal person coming out of the elevator doing normal activities, and she yells at them to get out. Like, what the fuck? How can someone possibly be this much of an insufferable piece of shit? It's actually impressive.
That was kind of rude.
I am rude. I'm sorry.
That lady did nothing to you.
I'm a surgeon.
What?
I'm a surgeon. I am. So I'm very particular. So
What does that have to do with yelling at a lady?
I'm sorry.
Now she's saying that she's a surgeon. She just randomly blurts out that she's a surgeon. It's like a child when they're like making up a story when playing pretend, like SpongeBob and SquarePants in that box of imagination. That's her whole brain. I'm spitting. I'm actually spitting. That's how disgusted this woman makes me. She can't stop lying for even a second, and she can't stop being a piece of shit to people around her. And like the officer's even telling her, like, that was rude. Like, this was just a person using this elevator, and now you're yelling at them. And she's like, I'm a surgeon! I'm a surgeon! I'm a surgeon! I like things to be particular. And they're like, what? What? What does that have to do with anything?
I do stuff very particular. Like I do brain surgery.
Okay, let's take a left.
So it's very particular.
So does that mean you can be an asshole to people?
I don't deal with people. So it's like I dealing with digging in people's brains and digging in. I'm sorry. That's what I do. You dig in, you go and deep 5, and that's it.
Brain surgeon.
I like how she almost tried to drop some kind of scientific terms like, well, brain surgery, you see, it's actually very complicated, and it's why I'm a little particular about things. I don't deal with people, I'm dealing with brains. You know, you have to go D5. D5. You know, knight to D5. You know, you saw it in Harry Potter when they're playing wizard's chess. Like, you guys wouldn't get it. I won't bore you with the jargon that you couldn't possibly understand with your tiny, feeble minds. Just know that because I'm a brain surgeon, it gives me the right to yell at people. And it gives me the right to call police departments 20 times a night reporting false crimes because, well, it's what I like to do as a brain surgeon.
You're lying, and you use me as a scapegoat under the bridge. You guys were harassing me under the bridge, and there was no cameras under there, and you guys were harassing me and me under the bridge.
She also left like a big bag of beer in front of someone's door, and
what's up?
You guys me in the elevator.
Okay.
Yep.
We have body cameras.
And I have marks.
We have body cameras, and if you want to,
and so do I.
if you want to file a false police report, we can go down that road.
You're lying.
Her next series of lies isn't nearly as humorous as her brain surgeon storyline, where, you know, she received a lobotomy, thus she thinks she's a brain surgeon now or whatever. This one, she starts to try and spin a false rape accusation about how they were raping her on the elevator and under a bridge.
And what they did to me, how they raped me.
Nobody's gonna. We're just having to exit the car.
Yep, and how they raped me.
Nelly, let's go.
Yep, and how he raped me, and how this guy raped me. And this guy raped me. What is your name? Stop! I'm talking too loud, you raped me! I'm talking too loud, you raped me!
Ashley.
You raped me! He raped me! He raped me! He did! This guy! This guy raped me!
She now embarks on the Screaming Gambit. This is a pretty advanced maneuver you don't see executed super often, never to any degree of success, where the person just then starts screeching and squealing. And it's what she does for the rest of the video. So she's still screaming that they raped her when there is body cam footage to prove that did not happen. That is a blatant lie. All she does is endlessly lie. It's craziness. And that is a awful thing to be lying about. And she's screaming it, and I think the idea was to try and like incite anger, to have like maybe people come in and like, I don't know, push over the officers to save her or something. I don't know what she's even trying to do with that accusation when there's clearly evidence that proves contrary. I think it's to try and like get out of the arrest. I don't really know, but it is unhinged lunacy.
Ashley, turn back around. Ashley, get back on the bench. Ashley, you need to sit on the bench right now.
When she eventually does get to the station, she lets out her best Joker laugh that she can muster. And to her credit, it's a pretty maniacal, cartoonishly evil laugh that she pulled off. It's pretty impressive.
Stand up.
Ow! Now you broke my arm!
Sit.
Now you broke my arm!
Ashley, you need to sit down.
You broke my arm!
Ashley, you need to sit up.
Lord have mercy on all the poor souls that were watching this with headphones on. They're no longer with us. So she's now claiming they broke her arm when they went over to try and get her to sit up. They didn't actually even lift her, by the way. The second they like touched her, then she started saying that they broke her arm. Another bogus baloney fib here. Liar, liar, plants for hire. Holy cannoli. And now she is absolutely wailing. She is sounding like a Five Nights at Freddy's jump scare. She sounds like if Toucan Sam ate a ghost pepper.
No! No, you broke my arm! You broke my arm! You did! You broke my arm!
I did not break your
You
arm.
broke my arm! Why are you hurting me?
If you sit forward, I
Don't
won't touch you.
touch
Okay.
me!
Do you have an NCIC for swatting?
Oh God. Fucking swatting. You guys are so fucking stupid. Swatting. Ow!
Ashley, you need to sit up.
She goes on and on and on and on and on. It sounds like the screaming goat meme. So that's kind of where that concludes, but she did receive some charges for it, but really got let off super easy. She, I think, only spent like 6 months in jail for blatant swatting, and she should be counting her lucky stars that they didn't try and pursue some kind of false rape accusation charges as well. I don't know if that's something they even could do, but I'm surprised they didn't try. Like, this really could have been a lot worse for Ashley. Swatting is something that is extremely serious. So she got let off very easily. And man, what a fucking nuisance she is. Holy. That's really about it. So yeah. Have you ever seen a senator burglarizing her stepmother in the middle of the night, getting caught in the act, then arrested, then losing her position while facing felony burglary charges? Well, you're about to.
On April 22, 2024, Becker County Police Department in Minnesota received a 911 call reporting an active break-in. Little did they know, they would soon find out the suspect is an elected senator for the state of Minnesota.
When I read the title from Midwest Safety, I immediately pictured Senator Armstrong from Metal Gear Rising. Half expected to click into this video and get the monologue, "Nanomachine's son. Played college ball, you know. Could've gone pro if I didn't burglarize my stepmother." But it turns out that's not the case.
Becker County 911.
Somebody just broke into my house.
Oh,
They
yeah?
just ran down into my basement.
Did you get a look at him at all?
No, it was completely dark. I tripped over him. He was on the floor next to my bed. I ran downstairs into my basement.
Okay.
Spoiler alert, the burglar is a senator named Nicole Mitchell. Well, now former Senator Nicole Mitchell. And she, I think, holds the title of the most incompetent burglar in human history. This is some shit out of Home Alone. This is the not-so-wet bandit here. I don't know what the thought process was. So apparently she was, like, hiding under or near her stepmother's bed, and her stepmother tripped over her, which is how she was alerted to her presence. And then she just, like, fucking pitter-patters her way to the basement to try and flee. So then the stepmother's like, what the fuck? What in tarnation? Calls the police, and she's like more confused than anything. Like, yeah, there's a burglar here. I tripped over him. He was like under my bed. I don't know if it was like a panty raid or what, but like they were under my bed, so I tripped over him. Would really love if you came and arrested them. They ran into my basement, I think.
I have a little steak knife in my hand right now.
Steak knife? Okay. All right.
I don't know where they could have. I don't see any,
She's clearly very frightened, like anyone would be in this situation. She's grabbed a steak knife to protect herself if things go south. I imagine she'd bust out some fucking Leon S. Kennedy level moves if, you know, the situation called for it, but luckily the police got there in a pretty timely fashion, it seems, because when they arrive, the burglar is still there.
Police department, make yourself known. 37 Becker got a little motion underneath the stairs in the house. Sounds like he's trying to get outside of the back to the north of the house.
Get on the ground.
Okay. Carol? Yeah?
It's Nicole.
It's Nicole?
I was just trying to get a couple of my dad's things because he wouldn't talk to me anymore.
So they got her, and then the big reveal, the huge plot twist. She calls her stepmother by name, and the stepmother is shocked that it's her stepdaughter, Nicole. And she tries to explain that she was just there to get a few of her dad's things. Now that story's going to change a lot over the course of this adventure, but make a note of this. She's there because she just wants to get some of her father's belongings, which explains why she's in a cartoonish cat burglar outfit. It actually looks like she's going to a Halloween costume party, but couldn't think of any ideas, so stopped by Spirit Halloween and grabbed the cheapest burglar costume she could find for it. It is unbelievable how, like, cliche this outfit is. I am stunned to see a real burglary from someone dressed like this. I'm also shocked that she didn't just, like, bolt for the front door and run away. Instead, she trapped herself in the basement and just squatted there, literally just standing in the middle of the bathroom. I don't know if she tried to do like a Blair Witch staring at the wall or something, like, if I can't see them, they can't see me. I have no idea, but it was not the cleanest getaway. And speaking of clean, you need to clean yourself up using Cheeky Soap. And great news, we just introduced a new scent into the family here, Bahami Mami. It's a tropical scent. It is fantastic, you're gonna love it, and you need to upgrade your hygiene. It's time, and this is the best way of doing it. Highly moisturizing body soap, best soap in the universe. Go to usecheeky.com and get some.
She also stole documents out of my house. She's my stepdaughter.
I didn't steal any documents. How did I steal documents?
Nicole, what's your last name?
Mitchell.
Stand up.
No one stole anything here, Carol. I don't have anything on me.
If you want to talk. You got anything on you?
No.
Yeah, what a nonsensical thought process, Carol. Obviously no one stole anything. What an outlandish thought to even cross your head. Why would you even get the idea that there could have been a burglary taking place here just because I'm in your house unannounced in the middle of the night, hiding under your bed, dressed like I'm about to go rob a bank? What? Does that mean all of a sudden I'm here stealing something? No.
Why was she squatting down next to my bed?
Who is this to you?
Pardon?
Who is this to you?
She's my stepdaughter.
Stepdaughter.
She's also a Minnesota senator.
A great question, Carol. Why was she squatting down next to your bed? The world may never know. The Lord has no idea.
She lives in the Twin Cities.
Unknown to the officer at the time, the suspect previously was a meteorologist for the Weather Channel and a local news anchor before being elected a senator.
She's a senator?
Yeah. Yeah, was.
Was or is currently?
She is. I meant after this.
Oh.
Her stepdaughter may have been a meteorologist predicting the weather, but Carol predicted the future here with this one, and she was right on the money. It is past tense. Nicole was a senator, but after this burglary, she is no longer and is facing some super serious charges.
My husband passed away, just her father. And the day after he died, her aunt came here, and they walked out with all these, it was Tuesday.
Okay.
They were walking out the door with all these forms, and I ran out the door. I said, "What are you guys doing?" Nancy said, "We're just trying to help you, just trying to figure out where you are financially."
No, it's a...
So here's where breadcrumbs start to connect a little bit. Carol mentions that Nicole is very close to one of her aunts, and after her husband passed away, they came and took some documents from this house while saying that they're just making sure she's doing everything, correct when it comes to finances. Which, that smells a little fishy. There's something stinky afoot there. And now all of a sudden Nicole is back unannounced in the middle of the night dressed like a fucking thief class in an MMO.
My dad died last year. She's paranoid. Well, now she's really paranoid. But,
Has she done this before?
Not that, but she's insisted that my son should get nothing. She should get everything, all that stuff.
Where'd she come in at?
Get into my bags.
You know?
I don't have a clue.
when everybody tried to help her right after the funeral.
She's not trying to help me. She's trying to get money.
She kept... I can show you my bank account.
Well, let's go upstairs.
So this is Nicole Mitchell's strategy. This is her go-to play here to try and weasel her way out of the trouble she's in. The crux of her argument for why she's there is that her stepmother is paranoid, and she's been mentally declining, and she's senile, doesn't understand things, so she's, talking all crazy, all that paranoia. But Carol, I think, seems pretty sharp here in recognizing that Nicole is probably there for financial reasons again, because it seems like that's something that's happened in the past, granted not to this level. And Nicole just keeps harping on no, she's just paranoid. As Nicole is literally dressed like a fucking burglar out of a Saturday morning cartoon in her house in the middle of the night looking to steal shit. I don't think that's paranoia. Paranoia indicates that there's some level of delusion or disconnect from reality. Carol is very grounded in reality. Nicole Mitchell is off in fucking goober space.
Yep, there he is.
That window?
Over there, yep.
Okay. Is this her bag?
Must be. I don't know.
Yeah, stuck in the window.
I'm just hoping this mistake won't completely away. I know, I did something bad. After the funeral, my aunts tried to help her. She thinks they stole from her when they were just trying to get her affairs in order.
Okay.
She was progressively cut off the family.
They find a backpack half pushed through the window. They eventually find 2 laptops in that bag, which coincidentally turns out Carol is missing 2 laptops. But we'll get to Nicole's excuse for that in a moment. She denies that the 2 laptops are Carol's. And now while talking to Nicole, she once again tries to harp on she's just unreasonable and she's just real out of it. She's gone loopy. She thinks everyone's out to get her, and so she's progressively cut off the family. To be honest with you, Nicole, I can see why she would progressively cut off the family here, considering one of the family members is breaking into her house in the middle of the fucking night, lying next to her bed doing a tabletop challenge or something. It makes sense. I don't think it's paranoia. I think she made the completely correct call in cutting off this part of the family here. And she mentions the aunts, something Carol also mentioned without the 2 of them even communicating, so it's pretty clear that there is something going on with the aunts and Nicole and the finances here that Carol has after the passing of her husband.
Okay.
But she's got Alzheimer's and she's gotten... I know this doesn't help. This is just going to prove the point. But she's gotten paranoid. and thinks we're all out to get her and won't let anyone in the house. I just wanted to get a couple of my dad's mementos, and that's all.
Okay. So what kind of mementos?
A couple pictures and maybe one of his shirts.
So she's saying that Carol has Alzheimer's and thinks everyone's out to get her, and thus she broke into her house to get some of her father's mementos. Nicole, it does seem like you're out to get her, and I'm inclined to believe other members of the family are too, considering you've conspired with them to take some documents from her house. It does seem like she's 100% in the right to think that there are some members of the family out to get her.
Hi.
What's your name?
Nicole.
Are those laptops in your backpack yours?
Yes?
Okay. She's saying she's missing 2 laptops.
I mean, I can show you one. It's got my kid's Minecraft game on it.
Okay. What's the other one for?
I have one for work.
Okay.
She has Alzheimer's. She's been misplacing things. I can show you texts going back months saying, you know, things are missing, this and that.
Okay. I'm just asking, so it's not a reason to break anybody's house.
No, that wasn't my intention.
Already.
She decided to bring 2 laptops with her in the backpack to a burglary? It's an interesting plan. Her strategy, it escapes me, but I'm not a galaxy brain, mega mind level intellect like Nicole Mitchell, clearly. But they then talk more to Carol, and they're asking about, what did she take previously, and she mentions that what her and her aunts took last time were a bunch of bank papers. The officers are asking, well, why would she be taking these things? How does this help her? And then she mentions that her husband didn't have an actual will. So the bank papers and all of that, she believes, is for, inheritance stuff, financial kind of gain. Which makes a lot of sense. Significantly more sense than Nicole's story.
Okay, how come it has Carol's name on it?
It was one that she had given me
Okay.
way back when to use for the kids.
Well, she's missing 2 laptops, is what she said. So I'm taking this laptop. How about this one? Okay, that one's got your name on it. Okay. That one will stay with your property, but I am taking this one.
That's fine.
Did you try shoving that backpack out and it didn't go out?
I want to answer your questions.
So one of them had Carol's name on it, and the other does seem to be actually hers. The state of Minnesota laptop right there. So she did, I guess, bring a laptop to this. My guess being she wanted to take Carol's laptop and upload things from it to hers, perhaps? I don't know. I'm just spitballing here. But it is very clear that she had some bad intentions. I don't think it was just to get some of her father's mementos. And in fact, she completely drops that narrative, by the way. After this arrest, this is the only time she tries making that claim. She then must have consulted with a lawyer or something, fucking called Saul, but Saul was too busy on Fent or something, because then she completely changes this story and goes with the narrative that she was actually only there to check on her stepmother's well-being because she cared so much. She just loves her so much and wanted to make sure she was okay.
Which is a felony, as well as possession of burglary tools. Mitchell was a Minnesota state senator at the time of her arrest and refused to resign after the incident. She accused her mother-in-law of suffering from paranoia about break-ins and senility. She also refused the release of the body cam footage. After her arrest, she posted on social media changing her story that she claimed in the body cam footage. Instead of saying she was there to take possession of her father's mementos, her social media post claims she was there to simply check on her stepmother due to her health issues, and she startled her, essentially putting the blame on the stepmother's medical problems.
Now, I'm not going to pretend to be an expert on wellness checks here, but this seems like a really bad approach to checking on someone whom you believe to have declining mental health. To dress up like a burglar and then hide under their bed in the middle of the night unannounced, and then scaring the bejeebus out of them, then scurrying down to the basement while desperately trying to get through the window. I don't know, call me crazy, but it just doesn't really seem like the priority and the goal here with breaking into the house was just to make sure that your beloved stepmother was doing okay. I feel like if someone was wanting to check on me, they probably wouldn't bust into my fucking house in the middle of the night and hide under my bed causing me to trip over them, still say nothing, by the way, and then just run away. I don't know. I wouldn't have that moment and be like, oh, thank God they checked on me. That wasn't a burglar. That was my best friend, no doubt, making sure that I'm doing okay. Ah, that's so sweet of them to stop by in their burglar costume in the middle of the night. What a crazy story to try and spin. There is no human being on the planet that would believe that. Like, her previous attempt with, like, getting her father's mementos, that makes sense if she had any of her father's mementos in her bag, which she didn't, apparently. So maybe that's why they tried this, because she couldn't, like, procure any of that. It clearly wasn't why she was there. So maybe the lawyer was like, if you try that, they're going to grill you on, well, why didn't you have the mementos? Whereas here, they can't tell you what you were actually there to do, I suppose. But you can definitely poke a hole in the logic of this. It makes no sense at all. She didn't check on Carol's health or anything. And if she was there to do that, why is she dressed like a burglar? Like, there are just so many obvious flaws with it. Though now I'm really playing with this thought experiment here, like how you'd possibly argue this. I guess maybe something you could squeak out is be like, oh, well, I thought Carol liked burglars. You know, some people really like clowns. You like clap at clowns, makes them laugh, makes them feel better. I thought Carol would feel better if I dressed like a burglar. I always thought she was a big fan of that get-up. I misunderstood, I'm sorry, but I really was there to check on her health. Like, I don't know, like, maybe you could try that?
This, however, doesn't line up with the fact that she was wearing the most cliché burglar outfit she possibly could have. She then put out a statement saying she has no intention of resigning from her seat in the Senate. However, in mid-July 2025, things took an unexpected turn for her.
New today, a Minnesota state senator found guilty of burglarizing her stepmother's home has officially resigned. She testified during her trial she was checking on her stepmom, not stealing from her. A jury disagreed, finding her guilty.
According to Midwest Safety, her sentencing is on the 10th, but she was found guilty of the burglary. I think we can say with confidence, probably one of the most unskilled burglars the video camera footage has ever captured. Like, this is Three Stooges level. So, yeah, that's really about it. So, yeah. Please deal with the most insufferable sovereign citizen ever, and this one turns into a chase. Sure.
2025.
This is recent.
Initiated a traffic approaching the vehicle. Officers observed that the plate displayed the text, Moorish National of the Moorish National Republic Federal Government. Based on this information, officers...
That's my favorite place!
The plate is being associated...
What, you've never been to Morris Land? What, you live under a rock? Grow up. I hope he drops the I'm traveling line, yeah. I'm not driving, I'm traveling. This is my vessel. Or vassal.
Good.
God, it is so hard to hear. Holy shit.
Okay, so where are you from? You said Morocco?
Corporate State, Illinois. I'm from Illinois State Park.
Alright, I need a license. You need a license to drive.
I'm not driving, sir.
What are you doing then?
Driving is when
You're driving. We're not going to do the whole sovereign citizen.
Come on.
That's what you're explaining to me. You're saying you're saying you just have
I have a nationality card,
right,
which is recognized by the Department of Justice.
Well, I need a license.
I'm not driving. I'm traveling.
You're driving.
She said it! Yes, the classic. I'm not driving, I'm traveling. Yes. I don't know who started this. I can say with like a high level of confidence it was a 4chan meme that people actually ran with. But that is the most commonly regurgitated line when it comes to sovereign citizens. I'm almost positive it was a 4chan meme where like it was a checkmate maneuver where if you're accused of being like whatever and they mention driving, you correct them and say you're not driving and it's traveling, and it's like you get away no matter what. Like that's like the number one maneuver you can do. It has never once in the history of fucking police stops ever worked. It's so good. I absolutely love that one. Like, no matter how many infinite examples you can pull from of that line not working, people still use it to this day. And I'm talking like 10, 15 years later. I remember being in high school seeing videos with that whole traveling line. And they still, as of March 2nd, 2025, believe that it works. The fucking I'm not driving dialogue tree. I don't get sovereign citizen stuff. Do they actually believe it, or do they just think that it's get out of jail card? Half and half. There's some people that truly believe it, and the other half just think that it's part of like this strategy to like get out of a traffic stop, which it's not. It never has, and never will.
Can't give it to you. My consulate said I can't give you my ID.
Okay, so
Ooh.
there's no.
Well, then she's free to go.
We need your driver's license.
Is that what it was based on? It's an interpretation of the Constitution saying you can travel anywhere in the U.S. If so, that is adorable.
It doesn't matter. You're driving a motor vehicle on the roadway in the United States of America. You're driving a car.
This is an engine. It doesn't have a motor in it. It has an engine.
We're not going to play these games.
Oh, boy.
You need to identify yourself.
She's good.
I'm the United States jurisdiction, so I don't have to show you the VIN number.
What was that first name?
N-I-A.
All right.
Last name.
This vehicle is its own domain. It's not part of the land.
What'd you say?
You have to identify yourself, or else you go to jail.
Jail? Jail? I think not, buddy. She's not part of the United States of America. Are you not listening? You can't throw her in jail. She's immune.
You need a driver's license to drive on the roadways.
That's if I'm transporting goods, services, and people. I'm just traveling by myself.
That's another one you hear a lot. Like when they do try and say, like, you're driving the car, if they shut down the traveling thing. I have heard that before about, like, no, I can't be driving. I'm not transporting goods, services, or people. Can't be driving. This is traveling. Don't you know the difference?
I usually try to avoid them because it's actually the first time I've seen one of these. So
They're talking about sovereign citizenry like it's a rare Pokemon in the tall grass.
The VIN is taped up as well.
Granted, it's not as popular today as it once was.
She's playing the whole sovereign citizen thing.
You do need license plates to drive on the roadways in the United States.
Not driving.
You're not a United States citizen? Where are you a citizen of?
Supervisor's right here.
Supervisor, welcome.
Come on out, I can talk to you.
I can talk to you right here.
I can't hear you.
I said I'm not going outside.
Oh, they're gonna slash your tires.
I mean, yes, I have to. But my car is private, so that's why I'm operating private.
Okay, for right now, we're gonna have you step out of the car. We got the legal right to ask you to step out.
I like that. I'm operating privately in here. Imagine they open that door and it's like this fucking laboratory. Like this absolutely extravagant cyberpunk-esque like Cerebro experience.
I'm not gonna keep explaining the same thing to you. Huh? We're not trying to intimidate you. I've been trying to cooperate.
Oh. Oh shit! Well, hey, she's not a U.S. citizen. We're powerless here, and she's also not driving. That car is traveling. We can do nothing. She's got Jarvis. Jarvis, unfuck my situation. Right away, man. We can do nothing. She's got Jarvis. Jarvis, unfuck my situation. Right away, ma'am. Steps on it. Oh, a big maneuver there.
While attempting to evade the police, she chose to call 911.
I'm getting chased by policy enforcers because they don't like my tag. I tried to give them proper identification, which is a nationality card, and they refuse to accept the nationality card because they're trying to say I'm a sovereign citizen. I don't even know what that is. I gave them proper... Yes,
Biggest
ma'am.
load of baloney I've ever heard. That is absolute hogwash. You don't know what a sovereign citizen is. You've used every single line verbatim from the sovereign citizen playbook. That is a load of malarkey.
I need to speak to a sheriff.
Well, you're not in sheriff's jurisdiction. You are in the jurisdiction of Parma and Parma Heights Police.
Ma'am, I just need to speak to a sheriff.
I understand that, ma'am, but you're not in the jurisdiction of the sheriff. You're in the Parma and Parma Heights
She's
Police.
doing a great job. Like, all things considered, she's in the middle of a low-speed chase, but she is very calm and collected right now. I appreciate that. This almost feels scripted. You know what I mean? This almost feels like in Need for Speed, where you're getting, like, some dialogue in between, like, your missions. This is really impressive stuff from her.
They're not gonna stop chasing until you pull over and speak to them.
Ma'am, I don't know what's going on.
Watch this. Ramps it off a tow truck. They'll stop chasing now.
I understand, ma'am. They had you stopped and you pulled off. You need to pull over and speak to the officers.
Oh God, not the pit maneuver. You can't execute a pit maneuver on a sovereign citizen. It's immune. There's like a force field around the vehicle.
Have you pulled over, ma'am?
Oh my God, wait. I was just talking about this. I was wondering why they don't use the grappler anymore. Like the James Bond gadget from Q's lab. They actually just hit her with it. They actually used the grapple. Oh my God, they busted it out for this. It's about time. That shit is so cool.
Ma'am?
It's Naya, or Nia. Naya, step out of the car! Radio, are you still on?
It's not a car. It's a vessel.
Naya, open the door and step out!
Not a door. It's a portal.
Keep coming, I got commands.
It's an
Step
engine.
to your
Oh, I
right,
forgot
step
she said,
over
yeah, it's
that.
just an engine.
That's it, she's the only one. Back up.
A horseless carriage. I've seen that one done before, yes. This is not a car, it's a horseless carriage. I have seen that.
Keep coming back. Right back on the sidewalk. Keep coming. Keep coming. Keep coming. Step to your right.
It's a pleasure to meet you. We've had a wonderful conversation.
Lay down on your stomach. Put your hands behind your back. Lay down on your stomach.
Man, she looks really upset.
Thank you. Hey, good job, man. Thank you.
Let this be a lesson to everyone driving. Pass this.
What was the lesson?
No, you gotta load it when you do.
He just stops. He stopped in the middle of a sentence. Let this be a lesson to everyone driving, and then nothing. Just silence. What's the takeaway?
No, this is the first successful one.
Oh, glad we got one for you. Thanks.
Huh?
Glad we got one for you. Appreciate it.
1 out of 3 is not bad.
It's the only way. She wasn't stopping.
What the fuck is sovereign citizen? What the fuck does sovereign citizen mean? It depends who you ask, man. It's a bunch of baloney. It's actual just baloney. Sovereign citizen takes GSP on wild back road pursuit. It's crazy how GSP always has the weirdest chases. This guy is going out there in a goddamn doohickey. That is neither a moped nor a motorcycle. It is some weird no man's land in between, I think, from the thumbnail. Just kind of a wholesome stroll through the backwoods.
Still rolling, Paul. Morgan Road.
I hear him speeding up.
Pull over! Motherfucker, pull over! Back on the gas.
Man, I can hear it happening. There we go. Welcome back. Honk your horn, you'll probably scare him. Oh, shit!
He just hit the side of my car and fell right onto the dirt road. Off through a field, Going off through a field.
Oh, boy. Now we're deep in the Lord's land. If he makes it to a cornfield, our goose is cooked. Man, hats off to the little bike, though. It's still cooking out here.
Get back to the dirt road, Paul.
No shot.
He just went on down the dirt road, down the ditch. I can't get down it.
Oh, he's good.
Went down a dirt road and towards the ditch.
He did not want to take his car over that. He was 10 steps ahead the whole time. To think that I doubted him.
Yeah, he did.
Thank you, Good Samaritan. We'll take it from here.
Okay. 684 pound.
Man, what is that noise? It sounds like when aliens invade.
Can't go by that. Besides, you operate in the code of law.
I didn't tell you to walk out.
Let's go ahead and go to jail. That's what you want to do.
Where's that? Where at? I won't get cut.
How do we know he's a sovereign citizen? Unless I can't understand what he said because it's all muffled and shit. He didn't use any of the sovereign citizen lingo or lines or anything. How do we know this guy's just not a enjoyer of long bike rides during a police chase? He said he didn't have a license, so he ran. Doesn't feel like a sovereign citizen moment. I just watched an unbelievable freakout where an argument between two boat captains escalates to piracy, basically, where one of the dudes boards the other vessel like he's playing Assassin's Creed Black Flag. It's like a scene out of Pirates of the Caribbean before they added in all of VFX. It's so fascinating how this dude just blew a gasket, had a conniption over a problem he himself caused. He was the genesis of this entire thing. And yes, the other guy was saying mean words back to him in this argument, but that doesn't give him the right to board that boat and try and fucking start swashbuckling with the guy. So the name of the loose cannon captain is Brock Horner. People are calling him Brock Horny Horner, and he has a very interesting lore, quite a rap sheet, which we'll get into towards the end. I want to show you the video first. He boarded the boat of someone named Gage, and Gage captured this entire interaction on video and posted it for everyone to see.
What, like 5 in the morning?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You cussing me out?
Nah, that was the dude in that boat. Were you the one that came through the middle of the bridge? Was that you?
Yeah, that was me.
Yeah, I was here, but you ran in front of the other dude over there.
You were cussing me out, dude.
Bro, you ran right through the middle of the bridge while we were all fishing.
In the middle of the fucking night, the guy didn't have any lights on.
Bro, we were all fishing here. The fucking.
He didn't have any lights on.
All right, bro. I'm not gonna do this with you, bro. I'm not gonna fucking do this with you, bro. Like, it's not the right time, bro.
You know the laws?
Bro, you can't come flying through the middle of the fucking bridge, bro.
Bullshit. Yes, I can.
All right, bro.
So a bit of the background. Brock Horner is a charter captain, and he's got some people out with him. 2 of the people on this boat have apparently come forward. I've watched 2 TikTok videos from 2 different people claiming that they were on this boat. Both of them condemning Brock in a big way. They did not like him at all. And they also corroborate that this started when Brock drove his boat really fast under that bridge there, and now he's accusing Gage of cussing him out after he did that. Gage is saying, no, that wasn't me, that was a different boat up there, you disrupted all of us. And Brock believes that it's Gage, and Gage didn't have his lights on, but Gage is saying, no, brother, that wasn't me, that was that guy that cussed you out. But now Gage is getting angry because now Brock is attacking him, so now Gage is cussing him out, for sure, because Brock is looking like a fucking fool right now. He's looking like a full clown.
What are you trying to do, bro?
What am I trying to
What are you trying to do, bro?
You want to fucking go?
I don't want to fucking go. I want you to get the fuck out of here.
Big tough guy?
Tough guy? You pulled up on me, motherfucker.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah.
What are you gonna do about it?
Nah, shit. I'm fishing, you fucking... Like, bro, get out of here. Like, what? What are you trying to do? Act like a tough guy in front of your buddies?
No, I'm not. Dude, all these motherfuckers know I'm tough, motherfucker.
Bro, all right, bro.
I will always love that statement, like, no, I'm tough. I am tough, because I'm telling you I'm tough, and everyone here knows it. I'm the toughest there is, and you don't tussle with the muscle. I'm so fucking tough, I'll eat a bowl of rusty nails right now and put 2 fingers in my butt. Well, how about that, huh? What do you feel about that? Like, that's shit Wes Watson does. Pegged Watson. He literally talks like Wes Watson.
You know what?
Get going, bro.
We're all fucking war veterans. We're all raised.
Well, thank you for your service, bro.
And you're gonna talk shit.
Thank you for your service, bro. But that doesn't give you the right.
Pussy ass fuck.
All right, bro. All right, whatever. I appreciate you for your service, bro. But you don't got to run through the middle of the bridge, bro.
Dude, if your guy doesn't have his fucking lights
That's not my guy, bro. That's just another fucking dude, bro.
you have to have lights on.
My lights were on, bro. My lights were on.
Somebody hits you, guess what the fuck happens? You die,
nothing happens to me.
Right, okay, bro. Keep thinking that.
No, that's the fucking truth, dude.
All right, bro. Keep thinking that.
Put your fucking lights on.
Bro, my lights were on. I wasn't sitting there. Okay, that's not my dude, bro.
As is common for the current day and age, there's a lot of people on Brock's side saying the kid brought it on himself. He's clearly in the wrong. Which I don't know how you can go through life with a poisoned mind like that. That is craziness, that anyone can see this and think Brock is acting rationally or reasonably in any fashion whatsoever. He is out here yelling and screaming, hooting and hollering at this guy whom he doesn't even know if it was the same guy that cussed him out earlier, even though Brock was the one that caused all this hoopla. According to someone who claims to be on that boat, he was going around 60 under that bridge, busting ass, zooming under that bridge, and now someone cussing him out has hurt his feelings. The mean words disrupted his sensitive skin, so now he's back for round 2, the dessert, to try and, puff out his chest on the guy. A guy, by the way, that he cannot even confirm is the right target for his anger. So he comes out and is like treating this like an Xbox Live lobby with all of this screaming at someone he thinks might have been the same guy. Now, I'm inclined to believe Gage's claim that it was somebody else out there that cussed him out after Brock flew through and that Gage did have his lights on. I'm inclined to believe his story over Brock, because Brock's not even sure, nor are the two people that spoke in the TikTok video. They don't know if it was the same guy either. But regardless, the way he's acting, even if it was Gage, is totally unreasonable.
Bro, I said, bro, you almost fucking hit him. The other dude was fucking cussing you out.
I almost hit him because he didn't have his motherfucking lights on.
Bro, you shouldn't come flying through the middle of the bridge. You know people fish here, bro.
Dude.
I'm sorry, man. I don't know if that's what you want to hear, bro.
Yeah, you should apologize, motherfucker.
But, bro.
More than you can possibly fathom in your wild motherfucking dream.
Me too, bro. I'm out here all the time, bro.
I'm 300 days a year on the motherfucking water.
All right,
Every
bro.
Every day, I'm the best charter captain you'll ever meet in your motherfucking life.
All right, bro.
Cuss me out.
Chill, bro. Chill, bro. Please, bro.
As he's making the statement that he is...
Chill, bro. Chill, bro. Please, bro.
As he's making content, people spoke.
Please, bro. Please, bro. Bro, I'm a kid, bro, please.
Apologize.
Oh, I'm sorry, bro. I'm sorry, bro.
You're gonna cuss me the fuck out.
All right, bro.
In the middle of the
no, bro, please, bro. Please, bro.
Back to my boat.
Okay, please.
Fucking apologize.
I'm sorry, bro. That was not me, bro.
Yes, it was,
I know I was here, but my buddy was on the boat.
Back to my
yes,
fucking
sir.
boat.
I'm a kid, bro. Please, bro.
I don't care. You don't cuss me the fuck out.
All right.
And talk shit to me, motherfucker.
Yes, sir.
You don't do it.
Now, it's been a while since I've gone fishing. In my old age, get very bad motion sickness, so I don't really get out on the water much anymore. But when I used to be far more active out there, every time we'd go out, our captain would carry. It was pretty common. And in a situation like this, Gage is clearly fearing for his fucking life here. Brock is lucky Gage wasn't carrying, because I feel like he would have had a really strong case blasting him after he boarded his fucking boat. That is unbelievably reckless and dangerous. I cannot believe someone that spends 300 days a year as one of the best fucking charter captains the globe has ever seen. He is the Davy Jones of the sea. How he would actually do something like this, because it's an unhinged action that could have very well have gotten him killed as well. But anyway, Gage is obviously very afraid here. He is now trapped on his boat with this guy who is freaking out, and Gage is now panicking and he's apologizing profusely, and he does change his story here saying like, no, it was my friend, and now he's like, earlier he was saying it was just a guy, not his dude. So like, it's possible that it really was someone he knew that said it earlier, or maybe he's making it up and he did say it earlier, but I really feel like it doesn't matter in any case here, because, again, Brock is the one that blew through there way too fast. It does seem like the lights were on, at least according to everything I've seen. So whether or not it was Gage or some mystery boater or a friend of Gage who cussed out Brock, it doesn't matter, because Brock's response to it is so outrageous, so over the top, that it can only be him at fault here.
Sorry, bro.
Your motherfucking friend, I'll look at it and come
Yes,
on
sir.
your friend and fuck you both up.
Yes, sir.
Do it again and watch what fucking happens.
Get back on this boat.
I want to make a lawyer and that.
Don't fucking do it again.
Yes, sir.
That's pretty much where the confrontation ends. I want to show you a statement from Brock's lawyer in just a moment, as well as his previous criminal history and a couple of other really interesting tidbits. But before doing that, I want to mention that I've seen a lot of people saying that Gage was a coward for the way he acted after Brock boarded his boat. I think that is so fucking stupid. Like, the people saying that are the same people that probably tremble and piss their britches when the waitress asks them what they want to eat off of the fucking entree menu. Like, there is no one here in their right mind that would think that what Gage did here was a bad call. He is doing everything he can to de-escalate the situation and get the fuck out of there. That is what you should do here. This guy is claimed to be a combat veteran. What, is he supposed to scrap with him? Gage is not a fighter. He's made it clear he does not want to do that. So what's he supposed to do? Fucking scrap with him in the middle of the ocean here and get left for dead out there? Get his ass beat and throw in the water left for dead? It's stupid. That's a really dumb thing to criticize him for. And another thing, there was like 4 or 5 other dudes on the ship that Brock abandoned. Like, yeah, let's say he was able to get the best of this goober. Like, he took down Brock on his own ship. Well, who's to say the other 4 or 5 guys wouldn't then get involved and start fucking jumping him? Or maybe they have weapons. And like, it's so stupid to say that he did like a cowardly thing here. He did the thing that he thought gave him the best chance at surviving, which was just playing along and de-escalating. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. But I do think there's something wrong with Brock Horner himself. He's not the superstar, top-of-the-line, absolute best fucking charter captain this world's ever seen. He's no angel. I'll put up a couple of his charges here that I've seen floating around since this story broke, but I would also like you to hear from his side with a message from his attorney. This statement comes from someone who is both Brock Horner's attorney and his friend, and basically he's saying that Brock is sincerely sorry, he apologizes to Gage and Gage's family, and pretty much anyone that put their peepers on the video, commends Gage for the way he handled the situation so it didn't get worse, and that this doesn't represent who Brock is. And since this video went viral, his business has been destroyed, and his reputation is damaged, and his family has been harassed and threatened. And that some people have questioned his military service and accused him of stolen valor. It then goes on to say that he's a decorated combat veteran who was severely injured in Afghanistan, and basically saying that the stolen valor claims are complete baloney, but that he's not using it as an excuse, even saying that's not an excuse, but it's part of his story. Now, before getting more into the meat and potatoes behind that statement, I will briefly mention that stolen valor claim, because that was a big thing I saw people discussing. Is this actually a case of stolen valor? And I'm not sure. I've seen quite a lot of information conflicting on this topic here, but the big one I see float around is that he was in the Army, but his position was a human resources analyst, not a combat veteran. I haven't, again, I have no idea if this actually is a case of stolen valor or not, but it has been a big discussion point, and I don't know if it's actual stolen valor, if he was a human resource analyst or what. But that's why that was mentioned in that statement from the attorney. I have no clue whether or not it truly is stolen valor. But what I do know is true is that his business is in the shitter. It went straight into the gutter as a result of this. And it's not like that's without warrant. Why would you want a charter captain who's one mean word away from fucking blowing his lid off and literally charging a stranger? That puts your life in jeopardy too. You do not want to go out to sea with someone that unhinged. It makes sense why people would stop doing business with him and why his business would be damaged so much from a video like this coming out. Like, that checks out. I've also seen quite a few posts about things that he is apparently selling now as a result of all this, so there's been people kind of clowning on him, going, here's the best goddamn charter boat captain in Florida, maybe the world, who's on the water 300 fucking days a year, a combat war veteran with the esteemed Army Rangers. He has been vetted and has been determined that this is a lie. He was the best goddamn E3 human resources analyst the U.S. Army ever trained. Tarpon Coast Fishing Charters Captain Brock Horny Horner, and then pictures and information about a lot of things that he is allegedly now putting up for sale. Again, I don't know if that human resource analyst claim is true or not. I can't find definitive proof on, what actually is the story with his background in the service or anything like that. But regardless, the way he behaved, there is no excuse for, there is no justification for whatsoever. Again, even if Gage was the one behind all of it, his lights were off, he did cuss out Brock. Even if that is all Gage, the way Brock responded to it is still completely unacceptable. Like, 100% unacceptable. So, yeah, I just wanted to talk about this a little bit because it was such an interesting rabbit hole I dived down. So, like I mentioned, 2 of the people that claim to be on that boat have made TikToks talking about it. So, just a crazy freak out. Anyway, that's really about it. See ya. Brock Horner's attorney and his friend, and basically he's saying that Brock is sincerely sorry. He apologizes to Gage and Gage's family and pretty much anyone that put their peepers on the video, commends Gage for the way he handled the situation so it didn't get worse, and that this doesn't represent who Brock is. And since this video went viral, his business has been destroyed and his reputation is damaged and his family has been harassed and threatened. And that some people have questioned his military service and accused him of stolen valor. It then goes on to say that he's a decorated combat veteran who was severely injured in Afghanistan, and basically saying that the stolen valor claims are complete baloney, but that he's not using it as an excuse, even saying that's not an excuse, but it's part of his story. Now, before getting more into the meat and potatoes behind that statement, I will briefly mention that stolen valor claim, because that was a big thing I saw people discussing. Is this actually a case of stolen valor? And I'm not sure. I've seen quite a lot of information conflicting on this topic here, but the big one I see float around is that he was in the Army, but his position was a human resources analyst, not a combat veteran. I have no idea if this actually is a case of stolen valor or not, but it has been a big discussion point, and I don't know if it's actual stolen valor, if he was a human resource analyst or what. But that's why that was mentioned in that statement from the attorney. I have no clue whether or not it truly is stolen valor. But what I do know is true is that his business is in the shitter. It went straight into the gutter as a result of this. And it's not like that's without warrant. Why would you want a charter captain who's one mean word away from fucking blowing his lid off and literally charging a stranger? That puts your life in jeopardy too. You do not want to go out to sea with someone that unhinged. It makes sense why people would stop doing business with him and why his business would be damaged so much from a video like this coming out. Like, that checks out. I've also seen quite a few posts about things that he is apparently selling now as a result of all this, so there's been people kind of clowning on him, going, here's the best goddamn charter boat captain in Florida, maybe the world, who's on the water 300 fucking days a year, a combat war veteran with the esteemed Army Rangers. He has been vetted and it has been determined that this is a lie. He was the best goddamn E3 human resources analyst the U.S. Army ever trained. Tarpon Coast Fishing Charters Captain Brock Horner. And then pictures and information about a lot of things that he is allegedly now putting up for sale. Again, I don't know if that human resource analyst claim is true or not. I can't find definitive proof on, what actually is the story with his background in the service or anything like that. But regardless, the way he behaved, there is no excuse for, there is no justification for whatsoever. Again, even if Gage was the one behind all of it, his lights were off, he did cuss out Brock. Even if that is all Gage, the way Brock responded to it is still completely unacceptable. Like, 100% unacceptable. So, yeah, I just wanted to talk about this a little bit because it was such an interesting rabbit hole I dived down. So, like I mentioned, 2 of the people that claim to be on that boat have made TikToks talking about it. So, just a crazy freak out. Anyway, that's really about it. So, yeah. I've made quite a lot of content covering fast food freakouts where entitled, stupid customers have an absolute meltdown and go on a rampage over trivial problems with their order. And they range from like goofy and silly to downright sad and tragic. Like the time a guy shot 2 Subway workers, killing one of them because they put too much mayonnaise on his sandwich. This evil, smooth-brain idiot actually took someone's life because they went a little heavy on a condiment. Jesus Christ. Mayonnaise may not be an instrument, but it was a death sentence for this worker, unfortunately. It's beyond tragic, and what's even sadder is just how common these kind of responses are in the fast food industry. That is far from the only case of someone losing their life to something super stupid like too much mayonnaise. And I know I've talked about that story in particular before and many others like it, and today I want to talk about another situation that happened a couple days ago, and this one has a whole video for it. And this video is shocking. Like, this is more shocking than the Into a Darman film. It had my eyes wider than the first time I gazed upon a bare breast. It has so much going on over something so little. So I'll quickly give you the lore here, the motivation behind what you're about to see, so you can watch this video in a pure state of bewilderment over the reaction to something so insignificant. A customer goes into a restaurant late a couple nights ago and he orders chicken and waffles as well as fish and coleslaw. He is served and even appreciates the food, he eats it, and then leaves. He comes back 45 minutes later and says he actually wanted chicken wings instead of chicken tenders, and demands that they whip him up a fresh batch of chicken wings in order to satiate his gluttony. Well, the store's 5 minutes to closing, and they say that's not really, on the table here, that's not really in the cards, we're about to close, so we can't do that. The person in charge of the restaurant even offers a refund, which is beyond generous. This guy's a fucking saint. To even be offering a refund, even though he ate what he ordered and then came back to make a big hullabaloo over nothing. So he offers the refund and then just asks for the card that was used to pay for it so that way he could, give the money back. However, he noticed that there was a bag with chicken wings in it, but it was another customer's order whom was going to be served those chicken wings. And this fucking sets him off and leads to everything you're about to see in this video. I know the story I just told you is riveting. It's like a fucking Dr. Seuss book. And it actually happened. That is the motivation from everything I've read on the story behind this huge blow up here. Obviously, we're coming into the action after the first quarter here, so they're already in a bit of a scuffle. So we get to see him like lunging over the counter multiple times, grabbing like the payment processing unit, like fucking ripping it off, and then when he's unsuccessful there and falls off the counter, he runs to the door and rips it off the hinges. This man came in here with stupid strength, so he takes the door, rips it off the hinges almost effortlessly, as if he was like ripping a piece of paper. I imagine it had to just be all of the adrenaline because he's not that big of a guy, so he probably tore like half of his muscles in his arms just pulling that off so easily. Or maybe this is just how he powers up, like Popeye with his spinach. This guy, when he doesn't get his chicken wings, he goes into like fucking Superman mode. He becomes like some kind of invincible fucking Hulk. Now the restaurant worker is fighting back. He brings out like some kind of police baton, almost. I don't exactly know what it is, but he's got the stick out now, and he's ready to get a little crazy with it. So he chases him out there and starts like whacking him with it like he's swatting a fly. The goofball customer also tries to use that door he ripped off as some kind of weapon, so he tries to like almost swing it like a baseball bat there for a second before realizing it was way too heavy for that, and also the guy hits him with the stick. And then they go to the ground, so we get into the ground and pound phase of the boss fight.
Oh, my stars. He didn't know. Oh, he did not do that. Oh. Oh.
The restaurant worker won on the ground game, I believe, and then even gets to claim his prize of the douchebag's phone, so he takes it and smashes it. Much to the dismay of the camera guy, he seemed like personally offended that this fucking asshole's phone got smashed. The way he acts makes it sound like he's stunned that such a dishonorable move was pulled during such an honorable fight. He's like, oh my goodness, now you've crossed the line. Everything up until this point was all good manners and by the book, textbook Knight's Honor Code, and then you go and smash his phone. A despicable display of sportsmanship. Like, what the fuck? The dude deserved to have his phone smashed bare minimum, at the very least. Like, that was absolutely par for the course. And that's not where this stops. There's no audio here, so I'll just go ahead and tell you what you're looking at. It is the fucking guy crashing his company tow truck into the building and then scooting away. So he zooms on out of there, peels out. Now, of course, I'm no expert here, but using the company car to commit a crime is probably a pretty fucking dumb idea. Not that he was making good decisions before then either, but that has to be one of the most identifiable things you could possibly be driving in order for people to track you down. The fucking company tow truck, of all things. And he blasts it into the side of the building here, and then gets out. He gets the fuck out. What's crazy, though, is that he still hasn't been found. Despite the company tow truck being identified, the actual person, has still, as of right now of me recording this, hasn't been arrested for it or anything. How is that possible? There's a lot of